Part 2. Starting with a billionaire mother-in-law. After a car accident, Chen Feng obtained a sign-in system. Sign in successfully, reward a richest mother-in-law. Looking at the reward, Chen Feng couldn't help but fall into distress. His mother-in-law has 7 daughters, which one should he marry? Chapter 30, What a delicious cake! Sitting on their way to school, Su Xinyu couldn't help but ask curiously, Chen Feng, whose WeChat did you ask that person to add? Guess. Chen Feng grinned. Immediately. Achoo! He sneezed. At this time, on the other side, Liu Haizhi stared at his phone blankly, grinning foolishly while sending a message to Su Xinyu. Goddess Su, my name is Liu Haizhi, and I am the one who drew a picture for you today. I am very happy to meet you. It would be great if I could run into you every day. Su Xinyu replied quickly. Hello, this is Chengdu Johnson Urology Hospital. Is there anything you need advice on? Only then did Liu Haizhi realize that he had been tricked by Chen Feng. Fuck you. After a while, Chen Feng drove the Koenigsegg supercar and stopped at the school gate. It is now school time and there is a constant stream of parents coming to pick up their children. The roads on both sides of the school gate were full of parked vehicles. As soon as Chen Feng's luxury car appeared, it immediately became the focus of everyone's attention. Brother Chen. As soon as Su Xinyao saw Chen Feng, she ran and threw herself into his arms. Fifth sister, you're here too. Su Xinyu made a face at her. You only have your brother Xiafeng in your eyes, where is your fifth sister? Fifth sister, Yao Yao loves you very much too. She stuffed the school bag into Su Xinyue's hand and said, here, it's for you. Chen Feng remembered that when he sent her here in the morning, her school bag was flat and there was nothing in it. But now my school bag is bulging after school. He asked curiously, Yao Yao, did the teacher give you a lot of homework today? Su Xinyu was no longer surprised. There is no homework at all, these are just snacks given to her by the boys who like her. Su Xinyao. A tall and beautiful woman walked up to Su Xinyao, holding a workbook in her hand. You forgot to take your homework book. When you say homework, homework will be here. Su Xinyao stuck out her tongue, took the exercise book, and forced a smile. Thank you, teacher. You're welcome. The long-legged beauty teacher glanced at Chen Feng and Su Xinyu, and asked with a smile, you said your fiancé would come to pick you up after school. Has he come yet? Teacher, Brother Xiafeng is my fiancé. Su Xinyao hugged Chen Feng's waist tightly. This clingy look makes him just like a docile and cute little kitten. The beautiful teacher with long legs looked at Chen Feng and found that Chen Feng was only about 20 years old. Su Xinyao was only 16 years old. Both of them were not mentally mature enough, but they started talking about marriage. This was obviously too absurd. Hello, I'm Yang Minute, the teacher at Su Xinya's cram school. I can see that she likes you very much, but she is still young and may not be able to see through many things. As an adult, you must consider things maturely and rationally. Do you understand what I mean? Chen Feng nodded and said with a smile, Teacher Yang, don't worry, I will deliver takeout to support Yao Yao. Delivering food. Yang Minute sneered, how much money can you make delivering food in a month? You're afraid you can't even support yourself, right? Chen Feng answered modestly, not much, I only made 60,000 in this morning. Can you earn 60,000 yuan by delivering takeout in a morning? Yang Minute was the first one who didn't believe it. This is almost equivalent to her annual salary. Are you delivering takeout for the bragging restaurant? Chen Feng pretended not to hear the sarcasm in the words and handed Yang Minute a flyer. Xingji Food Stall, there is a phone number for ordering food below. There is also a buffet event this weekend. All those under 1.2 meters tall are free. You are welcome to come and order. Yang Minute took the flyer and was half believing and half doubting. Everything under 1.2 meters tall is free. I also teach a children's interest class with about 50 children in it. I bring them all to eat for free. Yes. Chen Feng nodded. Yang Minute silently wrote down the address and put away the flyer. But her tone was still unhappy. Don't think that I will safely hand Su Xinyao over to you. I am her teacher, and it is my responsibility to protect her. Su Xinyao blinked, not quite understanding why Yang Minute was so angry. She smiled sweetly and said, Teacher, don't worry. Even if Brother Xiafeng doesn't deliver food, my 6 sisters, my mommy and I will support him. Yang Minute was speechless for a moment. Su Shinyu said unwillingly, I can earn at least hundreds of thousands a day from live streaming. I have the ability to support Chen Feng and Chimei. You don't need to worry about this, teacher. Not only was Yang Minute speechless, she almost had a myocardial infarction. Brother Feng, let's go home quickly. Su Shinyao held Chen Feng's arm and said admiringly, I really like the way you drive, you're so handsome. Okay, let's go. Chen Feng nodded and walked towards the school gate with the sisters. Yang Minute followed him curiously, wanting to see what kind of car Chen Feng, a delivery man, could drive. Buzz! A roar was heard. She watched Chen Feng speed away in a limited edition Koenigsegg. Mom! Yang Minute immediately took out her cell phone and made a call. The blind date I introduced last time is the delivery guy I rejected. Please help me get his contact information. I must meet him tonight. Return to the villa. Su Shinyao looked at the bags that Chen Feng took out from the trunk, her face full of surprise. Brother Feng, fifth sister, are you guys going to rob them all? Su Shinyu walked into the living room, protecting the small cake in her hand. Su Shinyao and Su Xinyan came up at the same time. Fifth sister, today is not your birthday, why are you holding a cake? Fifth sister, this little cake looks delicious. I've given you a bag of snacks. Can you give me this little cake? Su Shinyu took 2 steps back and refused seriously, no, this is mine. Okay, I won't compete with you. Su Shinyao puffed up her cheeks, pouted and went to the study to do her homework. Su Xinyan mischievously tickled Su Shinyue's armpits and cursed, I hope you gain 20 pounds after eating this cake. I'd be happy even if I gained 50 pounds. Su Shinyu dodged with a smile. She held the small cake high in her hand, fearing that Su Xinyan would damage it while fighting for it. Zhang Lindai, who had a rare chance of free time, saw her 2 daughters playing and chasing each other as soon as she got home. She felt the warm feeling of home, took the small cake from Su Shinyue's hand with a smile, and took a bite. Mom! Su Shinyu felt her hands empty and turned around to see that Zhang Lindai had almost finished the cake. Zhang Lindai finished the last bite of the cake and said contentedly, Yaya is so considerate. She knew I was back and prepared some snacks for me. This cake tastes good and is full of love. Mom, as long as you are happy. Su Shinyu was speechless. Chapter 31 Dark Cuisine. Night falls. There was a lot of joy in the Su family's mansion. Ahem. Su Shinyao huddled in Zhang Lindy's arms, looking at the smoky mess in front of her, wanting to cry but unable to. Mommy, fourth sister is so excited to see you back that she ran to the kitchen to cook again. I'd better order some takeout. Su Shinyu sat on the sofa and leisurely ordered a bowl of spicy hot pot. Does anyone else want to eat spicy hot pot? I want fried chicken, sweet and spicy. Su Shinyao asked Zhang Lindai again, Mommy, what about you? Zhang Lindai looked at her 2 daughters and advised them earnestly, you should actively support your fourth sister when she cooks. You're too disrespectful to her by ordering takeout before the dishes are served. Yao Yao, I want a portion of honey fried chicken and a large iced cola. Yeah, give me 1 portion of your spicy hot pot, too, with more cilantro. Mommy. Su Shinyao squinted, didn't you just say that you would actively support fourth sister in cooking? Zhang Lindai smiled to hide her embarrassment, that. She couldn't make up any more stories, so she turned to look at Chen Feng, asking for help. Xiao Feng, do you want some fried chicken too? Chen Feng looked at the busy figures in the kitchen and said with a smile, Mom, I won't order takeout. I'll eat the food cooked by Yang Yang. Puff. Su Shinyao burst out laughing, Brother Feng, you had diarrhea the whole night after eating the midnight snack made by fourth sister last time. How dare you eat the food she cooked now? The last time Chen Feng had diarrhea, it was also related to the expired milk I gave him. Su Shinyu admitted weakly. Chen Feng looked at Su Shinyu dimly. Su Shinyue's eyes immediately avoided. He chuckled and said seriously, I think Mom is right. We should support Yang Yang. I am willing to test the poison myself for dinner tonight. After saying that, Chen Feng quickly ordered a bowl of braised chicken with rice. Just at this moment, Su Xinyan, covered in dust and looking like she had just cooked something in the kitchen, came out carrying 2 plates of food. The food is here. 4 pairs of eyes looked over curiously. Fourth sister, what is this black mass of yours? Is this white foam detergent? Sorry, I feel a little nauseous. Su Xinyan ignored everyone's almost nauseous expressions and proudly introduced, "This dish is my own creation of mooncake fried pepper. The mooncakes have egg yolk filling, red bean paste filling, whole grain filling. Fourth sister, please introduce the next dish quickly." Su Xinyu felt a little nauseous just by listening to it. Su Xinyao couldn't help but remind him in a friendly way, "Fourth sister, those mooncakes in our house have expired a long time ago, right? This is not important." Su Xinyan raised her hand and began to introduce the next dish. The name of this dish is hammy melon fried with bitter melon. The sweet hammy melon is paired with bitter melon, which is sweet with a hint of bitterness. How about it? Are you drooling already? Everyone laughed awkwardly in unison. "Har har, it's okay, we can still bear it." Su Xinyao looked towards the kitchen. "Fourth sister, do you have any other dishes? These two dishes of yours are so surprising that most people may not be able to handle them." "Have." Su Xinyan turned around and went to the kitchen to bring back two dishes. She placed one of the dishes in front of Su Xinyao. "Seventh sister, I made this dish especially for you, steamed eggs with strawberries, it looks good and tastes great, come and try it." That, fourth sister." Su Xinyao ran away from the table as fast as if she was escaping. "The takeaway I ordered is here, I'll go get it." Fifth sister Tilder, Su Xinyan looked at Su Xinyu with a smile. "Fourth sister, my takeaway has arrived, I." Just as she was about to stand up, Su Xinyan pushed her back to her seat. "Takeout is not healthy. Try the fried corn with pomegranate that I made especially for you." Su Xinyu was almost dumbfounded. "Fourth sister, you are amazing. You should keep this dish for yourself. I'm going to get my spicy hot pot." "Hey, fifth sister." Su Xinyan frowned unhappily when she saw that her two sisters disliked the dishes she cooked. But when she saw Chen Feng and Zhang Lindai still sitting at the dining table as steady as a rock, a smile appeared on her face again. Two more dishes were brought from the kitchen. Zhang Lindai already had a bad feeling. "Yang Yang, Mommy suddenly remembered that I still have work to do, I'll go first." "Mom, you always use work as an excuse to avoid it, can you be a little more creative?" Su Xinyan placed a dish in front of her. "Today, no matter what, you must finish this dish of stewed pig intestines with plums. The moment to witness our deep love as mother and daughter has come." Zhang Lindai turned a blind eye, resisted the urge to vomit, and said tearfully, "Now that things have come to this, Yang Yang, I don't want to hide it from you anymore. In fact, Mommy picked you up from the trash can." After saying that, she ran away and vomited. Now, Chen Feng was the only one left at the dining table. Su Xinyan smiled and pushed all the dishes in front of Chen Feng. "Chen Feng, they are not lucky enough to enjoy them, so you can eat all of these dishes. And this dessert, pickled pepper mango, you have to eat it all too." Chen Feng suddenly understood why Su Xinyu and the others were running so fast. He looked at the dark food in front of him and forced a smile. "Yang Yang, my stomach hasn't been feeling well lately. The doctor said I can only eat braised chicken with rice, so I'd better go out and get my takeaway." No one wanted to eat the food cooked by Su Xinyan, and she was angry. "Chen Feng." She put her hands on her hips and blocked Chen Feng's escape. "Don't they say that if you love someone to the extreme, you dare to eat even her poop? If you still recognize me as your fiancé, you must eat all these dishes today." Chen Feng wanted to cry but had no tears. "Yang Yang, there are many ways to love someone, you don't have to eat the food she cooks." "But how can you prove your love if you can't even eat the food she cooks?" "Yang Yang, I can cook. You don't have to cook for yourself in the future. I can cook for you." "That's not enough." Chen Feng whispered in his heart that there shouldn't be a kitchen at home. Su Xinyan also learned Su Xinyue's tsunderiness. "I don't care. I just want to cook, and I want to cook often, until your stomach gets used to and falls in love with my cooking." Cough cough. When Chen Feng heard this, his eyes rolled back and he almost left this beautiful world. Su Xinyan picked up the chopsticks, picked up a piece of pig intestine and put it into her mouth. "And I think the food I cook tastes pretty good. Even if it's not as good as those of 5-star chefs, the level of those small restaurants on the roadside." "Oh!" Before she could finish her words, she ran off to vomit. Su Xinyao ran into the living room, looking excited. "Brother Xiaofeng, your braised chicken with rice has arrived, I brought it to you, eat it quickly." Su Xinyu asked curiously, "Where are mom and fourth sister?" Chen Feng replied with trembling lips, "They all ran to vomit." Chapter 32 below. After dinner, Chen Feng was responsible for washing the dishes. The bowl that was being washed was the one used to hold their delicacies that Su Xinyan had carefully prepared. From the living room, I could hear the sound of her grabbing food everywhere. Fifth sister, you probably can't finish this spicy hot pot, give me some. Good seventh sister, give me a chicken drumstick. Mommy, it's hard for you to eat a double portion by yourself, let me help you share the pain. After washing the dishes, Chen Feng rubbed Zhang Lindy's shoulders for a while, and then took charge of supervising Su Xinyao's recitation homework. Brother Xiaofeng, the task assigned by the teacher today is to recite Spring Dawn. Su Xinyao glanced at Chen Feng guiltily, closed her eyes and continued reciting. I slept through the spring night, and heard birds singing everywhere. There was wind and rain at night. A warm breath evenly fell on her face. Su Xinyao suddenly opened her eyes and blushed to find that Chen Feng was leaning on the desk with his hands, staring at her with a half-smile. Xiao, brother Xiaofeng, what's wrong? Why are you suddenly staring at Yao Yao like this? Chen Feng took out his phone and showed the text message that Yang Minute had sent a few minutes ago. The homework your teacher sent me doesn't seem to require you to recite Spring Dawn. Her lie was exposed. Su Xinyao lowered her head, her little face as red as a Fuji apple. A few seconds later, she raised her head suddenly and asked in surprise, Brother Xiaofeng, why did our teacher send you a text message? Where did she get your contact information? My phone number is on the takeout order. My handsome face is enough to make her add me 100 times. Putting away his phone, Chen Feng sat down, crossed his legs, and said seriously, recite Peach Blossom Spring quickly. If you make a mistake in reciting a word, there won't be any more punishment, right? Su Xinyao swallowed in fear. You guessed it right. Chen Feng curled his lips. Su Xinyao crossed her legs and huddled in the chair, and asked cautiously, what is the punishment? I haven't decided on a punishment yet. Just recite it first. If you make a mistake, I'll punish you randomly. So strict. Even the teacher doesn't allow us to play like this. Su Xinyao frowned aggrievedly. Brother Xiaofeng, how about this? If I recite a word wrong, you punish me by kissing you, okay? Chen Feng raised his eyebrows. I'm punishing you, not rewarding you. You're just greedy for my body at such a young age, you're just dreaming. Well, it's not impossible for you to kiss me. Boom boom. Chen Feng bent two fingers and tapped the edge of the desk twice, interrupting the little girl's beautiful fantasy. After thinking about it, he reluctantly accepted it. Okay, if you recite a word wrong, I will punish you by kissing me. After the terms were agreed upon, Su Xinyao began to recite the text. When the forest ends and the water source is reached, there is a mountain with a small opening that seems to have light. It is very narrow at first. Boom boom. Wrong, I missed a sentence. Oh tilde. Su Xinyao jumped off the chair, leaned forward, put her cherry lips in front of Chen Feng, and kissed him hard on the face. Soft and chewy. It feels like jelly. Chen Feng pretended to be calm and urged, continue. Su Xinyao pouted her lips and didn't retract them. Brother Xiaofeng, do you want me to continue kissing you? I asked you to continue reciting the text. Chen Feng pulled her cartoon pajamas back to the chair. Oh. Su Xinyao thought about it and continued to recite. We left the boat and entered through their mouth. It was very narrow at first, but only just wide enough for one person to pass through. After walking a few dozen steps, the view suddenly became clear. The land was flat and spacious, with fertile fields and beautiful bamboos. Boom boom. Did I recite it wrong again? Su Xinyao pouted in grievance and kissed Chen Feng on the other side of his face. Although her tone was very aggrieved and reluctant, her bright smile betrayed her true thoughts. After returning to her seat, the little girl did not rush to continue reciting, but asked in confusion, Brother Xiaofeng, why did the boys in our class laugh strangely when the teacher talked about this paragraph? Chen Feng asked with a smile, what kind of strange smile? Su Xinyao looked at Chen Feng's face and described it seriously, it's similar to your smile, a little vulgar and a little naughty. Ahem. Chen Feng raised his hand, clenched it into an empty fist, put it on his chin and coughed, I'm not sure about this either. You can ask your teacher Yang tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Su Xinyao nodded, touched her stomach and said, Brother Xiaofeng, I feel a little hungry. Chen Feng looked at the time and it was almost midnight. Didn't you have fried chicken tonight? Most of the fried chicken was snatched away by fourth sister. Su Xinyao licked her lips nostalgically, how about I order some takeout, Brother Xiaofeng, what do you want to eat? Before Chen Feng could answer, a familiar mechanical voice sounded in his ears. A new sign-in task has been issued. Would you like to sign in immediately? Sign now. Sign in successfully. This sign-in reward, become a world-class chef. This sign-in reward is great. Being able to work in the living room and in the kitchen, Chen Feng felt that he was one step closer to being a good family man. Brother Xiaofeng. Su Xinyao raised her hand and waved it in front of Chen Feng. Chen Feng came back to his senses and said excitedly, Yao Yao, don't order takeout, I'll give you food below. After saying that, Chen Feng rushed into the kitchen and started working. Dice tomatoes and wash green vegetables for later use. Pour oil into the pan, heat over low heat, add chopped green onion and stir-fry until fragrant, then add tomato cubes and stir-fry evenly. Pour a small amount of water and season with 1 spoon of soy sauce and 1 spoon of salt. When the water boils, add the noodles, followed by 2 eggs. When the noodles are almost cooked, add the vegetables and season with a little chicken essence. In less than 10 minutes, a pot of steaming tomato and egg noodles is ready. Su Xinyao couldn't help but drool. Wow, Brother Xiaofeng, this bowl of noodles looks so delicious. Chen Feng filled 2 bowls of noodles and brought one of them to her. Try it and see if it tastes good. Su Xinyao picked up the chopsticks and started eating. The chewy noodles are paired with sweet and sour tomato sauce, and a bite of a medium rare poached egg. Su Xinyao felt so happy that she was about to cry. Delicious, Brother Xiaofeng, you're so delicious down there. There's still some in the pot. If it's not enough, I'll get you more. Chen Feng said with a doting smile. Su Xinyao was eating with great enjoyment, her little face almost buried in the bowl. It smells so good. Zhang Lindai was thirsty and looking for water in the middle of the night. She passed by the kitchen and walked in after smelling the fragrance. She saw Chen Feng and Su Xinyao in the kitchen and asked curiously, Xiao Feng, Yao Yao, what are you two doing in the kitchen so late at night? Su Xinyao turned her head, with bright red tomato juice still hanging from the corners of her mouth. She gave a thumbs up and replied with praise, Mommy, Brother Xiaofeng's bottom is so delicious, do you want to eat it together? Chapter 33, Cooking Competition. Xiao Feng, bring me a set of bowls and chopsticks. Zhang Lindai sat down at the dining table without hesitation. Chen Feng immediately served her a bowl of tomato and egg noodles. Mom, be careful of the heat. Okay. Zhang Lindai nodded, picked up the chopsticks, picked up a big mouthful of noodles and put it into her mouth. This noodle looks so delicious that one can't help but want to eat it. Even if it is hot, one still has to eat it in big mouthfuls and can't be polite at all. Mommy, eat slowly. Su Xinyao couldn't bear it anymore. Zhang Lindai ignored him and drank the last mouthful of soup contentedly before praising him. Xiao Feng, your soup is really delicious. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Xinyan and Su Xinyu, who had smelled the fragrance, appeared in the kitchen together. Su Xinyu took the bowl and chopsticks and went straight to the pot. Su Xinyan snatched the noodles from Su Xinyao's bowl and started eating. Fourth sister. Su Xinyao burst into tears of grievance. Su Xinyan ate while comforting her. Seventh sister, I saw that you were eating slowly, so you must be full, so I helped you solve the problem. Mommy, look at my fourth sister, she's bullying me again. Su Xinyao threw herself into Zhang Lindai's arms. Zhang Lindai raised her hand and patted her on the back. Okay, don't cry, be good, Mommy will help you teach your fourth sister a lesson. As she said that, she glared at Su Xinyan. Yang Yang, you are such a fool. You don't even know how to give in to your sister. Hey, leave a sip of soup for me. Su Xinyan drank up all the soup at the bottom of the bowl. Mom, if you want to drink soup, go to fifth sister. She is guarding a pot. 3 pairs of eyes looked hungrily at Su Xinyu, who was holding the bowl and eating happily. Zhang Lindai pushed Su Xinyao away from her arms, and rushed up with Su Xinyan at the speed of a 100-meter sprint. Mom, you've already eaten a bowl, so the remaining noodles should be left to me. Yang Yang, you are still young, so make sure you stay in shape. Otherwise, you won't be able to get married if you eat too much. So the noodles belong to me, and I'll leave you a mouthful of soup at most. The tears in Su Xinya's eyes were still there. She looked at the empty bowl in front of her and looked at Chen Feng pitifully. Brother Xiaofeng, they all bullied me. Chen Feng's heart melted. He smiled and picked up the noodles and fed them to Su Xinyao. Yao Yao, don't cry, Come, I'll feed you Tilda. Su Shenyu, who had just swallowed half a poached egg, saw this scene and suddenly felt that the noodles in her bowl were no longer delicious. 10 minutes later, the four women ate and drank their fill and burped with satisfaction. Zhang Lindai touched her stomach and said with emotion, "It's so delicious. I wish I could eat Xiao Feng's noodles every day." Su Xinyan, who wanted to learn cooking, asked curiously, "Chen Feng, what's the secret to your delicious pussy? Why is mine always too hard, while fifth sister's is too dry?" This question sounds a bit strange. Chen Feng smiled and replied, "Next time I will teach you myself." Su Shenyu curled her lips, "What else do I need to teach you? It's good enough to have you cook for me." "Fifth sister, your idea is wrong. It is better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. Although Brother Xiaofeng's noodles are delicious, he can't cook them for you every time you want to eat noodles. So, you still have to learn how to cook them yourself." Su Shenyao said seriously. "You are the one with the best chatterbox." Su Shenyu snorted coldly and noticed two subtle lip marks on Chen Feng's face. The color of the lip print is very similar to the color of Su Shenyao's lipstick. She blinked thoughtfully and strode out of the kitchen. Early in the morning, Chen Feng sent Su Shenyao to school for cram school, and then continued to deliver takeout. In order to avoid being conspicuous, he specially drove the relatively cheap Bugatti Veyron in the garage today. But it still swaggered. Yesterday I saw a food delivery guy driving a Koenigsegg, and today I saw another driving a Bugatti. Does that mean you can't deliver food without a luxury car now? Which young master is angry? Go back and admit your mistakes and inherit the family property. So handsome. I swear, I will never marry a delivery man in my life. Wherever Chen Feng went, he would cause a burst of crazy screams. Some took photos, some asked for contact information, and some even came up to Chen Feng to extort money and force him to marry them. Chen Feng sighed silently in his heart. Oh, why is it so difficult to deliver food in a low-key manner like an ordinary delivery man? Herewith. The sound of tearing cloth was heard. The Bugatti Veyron stopped in front of the entrance of Chengdu Gymnasium. There were many security guards standing at the entrance of the gymnasium, and banners and posters read, "The third Chengdu Chef Championship opens." Chen Feng had also watched this competition on TV before. The God of Cooking competition is divided into two stages: online registration and auditions and on-site finals. The finals are divided into 3 rounds. This year, the reward for the first place is more generous than in previous years, with a cash reward of 500,000 yuan. Of course, money doesn't matter to Chen Feng now. He just wants to experience life. Getting out of the car, he strode towards the gymnasium. A security guard immediately came up and stopped him. "The recording of the MasterChef contest is going on inside. No unauthorized persons are allowed to enter." Chen Feng looked at the competition poster. "I'm here to sign up for the competition, let me in. Those who can enter are those who have qualified for the finals. Do you have one?" The security guard looked Chen Feng up and down. Chen Feng pointed to the audition deadline and said, "The audition registration is divided into 2 time periods. Registration has not yet ended. I can register now. Don't think that just because you take off your vest, I won't know that you are delivery man." The security guard looked at the takeaway uniform in Chen Feng's hand with disdain and sneered, "It's useless for you to sign up now. The chefs who can come to the finals are all famous chefs. To put it nicely, it's an audition, but in fact, the places have already been decided. You are not qualified, so you'd better give up this idea as soon as possible. It turns out that the chef competition is so complicated. But doesn't it say absolutely fair and just?" Su Xinyan suddenly appeared at the side. That night, Chen Feng taught her how to play Sitting Love, which solved a problem that had troubled her for a long time. She had nothing to do recently, so she followed Chen Feng out to play. "These words are written just to fool fools like you." The security guard had seen through it. "Boy, I've told you very clearly, go away and don't make trouble, otherwise I will beat you fairly and justly." "You dare?" Su Xinyan stood in front of Chen Feng. Chen Feng chuckled. "Yang Yang, let's go then." Su Xinyan was surprised. "Chen Feng, I think with your cooking skills, you can definitely win a prize. Are you really giving up just like that?" Then she added in a low voice, "If you want to participate, there is a way. I will go and tell Mom." Chen Feng interrupted, "No need, I have my own way." As he spoke, A meaningful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth and he walked towards a breakfast stall on the roadside. Chapter 34, Flop Brother. The breakfast stall was run by a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s, with sparse, greasy hair and tattered clothes. It was midsummer, but he was wearing a sweater with several threads sticking out of the hem, and a pair of ripped floral shorts. It's no wonder, there are long queues in front of other breakfast stalls, but no one is interested in his. Su Xinyan frowned and whispered, "Chen Feng, this man looks unhygienic. Are you sure you can eat the breakfast he made?" "My dear sister, although I am poor, I am not deaf." The middle-aged man picked up a palm leaf fan and pretended to drive away flies, saying unhappily, "It's not clean, but you won't get sick if you eat it." "You can eat it if you want." Su Xinyan crossed her arms over her chest and raised her chin slightly. "Who are you calling big sister? I am more than one generation younger than you, right?" The middle-aged man pulled the corner of his mouth and asked with a smile, "Then may I ask this little sister, how old are you?" 22. "I'm 21, so you're still my eldest sister." Su Xinyan widened her eyes in surprise. "You look like you are already in your 40s, so 21 refers to your age, right?" He put the palm leaf fan diagonally on his waist, put his hands on the table, and snorted, "Don't believe it. Do you want me to take out my ID card and show it to you?" "No need, I believe it, I believe it." Su Xinyan waved her hands repeatedly. After taking a few glances, Chen Feng smiled and said, "You are the author of the Leap article that was on the news a few years ago. You will fail sooner or later, right? You recognize me?" The man showed no surprise, but a self-deprecating smile on his lips. Chen Feng nodded. "I know that you have been writing novels at home since you graduated from college, and you are determined to become a platinum author. However, due to the lack of readers' rewards and subscriptions, you have been failing more and more, and finally you have been reduced to selling breakfast in the morning, moving bricks during the day, and doing cough cough at night." Seeing that Chen Feng was hesitant to speak, Su Xinyan asked curiously, "What are you doing tonight?" Chen Feng smiled and said nothing, but the man said bluntly, "What else can I do at night? Of course, I'll be a prostitute. Be a gigolo." Su Xinyan laughed. "You don't look down on me. I tell you, being a gigolo is exhausting." The man raised his eyebrows and said proudly, "I'm not bragging. I'm the best at cooking duck in the whole city of Chengdu. Whether it's roast duck, salted duck or beer duck, I'm very good at it. This is what makes a duck." Su Xinyan almost misunderstood. Chen Feng stopped him in time. "Brother Pujia, what's the name of the novel you are updating now? I will give you 10 helmsmen as a reward, and you rent your breakfast stall to me for 1 hour." The man pointed at the QR code and said, "Just scan the code and pay. I haven't written it for a long time. No matter how much you tip, the money will still be taken away by the middlemen." "Good." Chen Feng nodded and immediately scanned the code to transfer the money. "Alipay receives 1,000 yuan." The man received the money with a smile on his face. He took off the palm leaf fan from his waist, stuffed it into Chen Feng's hand, patted his shoulder and said, "Brother, I'll leave this stall to you. I'll be back in an hour." As he spoke, he walked towards the internet cafe humming a little tune excitedly. He has retired from the online literature circle for several years, and few people remember his pen name. He now decided to go to the internet cafe to open a new book, make a lot of money, and marry a beautiful and rich woman. After the man left, Su Xinyan asked curiously, "Chen Feng, what are your plans for renting this stall?" "Make fried rice with egg." Chen Feng tied on an apron and started to get busy. Su Xinyan almost thought she had heard it wrong. "I thought, could it be that Chen Feng was upset because he was rejected from the God of Cooking competition, so he wanted to make fried rice to vent his anger?" Although she had thousands of doubts in her mind, Su Xinyan said nothing and watched attentively while Chen Feng was making fried rice. "After all, he is my fiancé, and I must unconditionally support every decision he makes." Boom boom boom. Dice cucumber and ham, and mince shallot. Beat the eggs into egg liquid, pour into the rice and mix well. Pour a proper amount of oil into the pot, turn to medium heat, and then pour in the rice soaked in egg liquid. Chen Feng picked up the chopsticks and kept stirring until each grain of rice was distinct. Pour in diced ham and cucumber, stir-fry evenly, and season with appropriate amount of salt and pepper. Finally, sprinkle with chopped green onions. Out of the pan. The fragrance is so strong that it can be smelled from 10 miles away. What's that smell? The meat bun in my hand suddenly doesn't smell good anymore. Look, the fragrance seems to be coming from that breakfast stall. Smelling the aroma of the egg fried rice, people who were buying breakfast at other breakfast stalls nearby came over and surrounded it in 3 layers in an instant. It seems that this person wasn't the one who set up the stall before. I've bought breakfast from this stall. It's very unhygienic. Eating it will give me diarrhea for the whole day. You should never buy from this stall. A young man stood up to complain. Su Xinyan casually pulled her long hair up, tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and looked at the young man who was speaking with a smile. Handsome guy, did you remember it wrongly? Was it me who bought you breakfast before? Fairy has descended to earth. Brush. 2 lines of nosebleed gushed out immediately. The young man didn't bother to wipe it, his eyes were glued to her. Beauty, I did remember it wrong, don't listen to my nonsense, I usually like to buy breakfast here, it's very hygienic and tastes great. Su Xinyan resisted the urge to laugh. She scooped a bowl of egg fried rice from the pot and brought it to the young man, winking at him and saying cutely, would you like to buy the egg fried rice I made? Yes. He nodded rapidly. Su Xinyan pointed to the QR code on the stall and said, 50 yuan a bowl, please scan the code to pay. The young man suddenly sobered up. 51 bowls of egg fried rice, is that so expensive? Is it expensive? Su Xinyan pretended to be aggrieved. This is the egg fried rice that I spent a long time and carefully made. Every grain of rice is wrapped with my deep love for you, Tilder. The young man was still hesitating. Chen Feng stood in the crowd, lowered his head, pinched his nose and said loudly, the egg fried rice made by Fairy Sister is worth 500 yuan a bowl. Naturally, these words also reached the ears of the young man. He immediately agreed without hesitation, okay, 50 is 50, I want a bowl. After scanning the code and paying, he took the fried rice from Su Xinyan and started eating it. The soft and glutinous rice is wrapped with golden egg liquid, mixed with the sweetness of cucumber and the salty fragrance of diced ham, and it goes down in one bite. A variety of mixed delicious flavors suddenly explode in your mouth. Tasty. It's so delicious. The young man's nosebleed had not yet dried and 2 lines of tears began to flow. He wolfed down the egg fried rice, and in less than a minute, he had finished the whole bowl of egg fried rice. Su Xinyan smiled and asked, handsome guy, is the egg fried rice I made delicious? The young man nodded repeatedly and gave a thumbs up, praising it endlessly. Delicious, this is definitely the most delicious egg fried rice I have eaten in more than 20 years. As he spoke, he looked into the pot with an unsatisfied look. Give me another bowl. Chapter 35, 50,000 yuan for a bowl of fried rice. The onlookers were stunned. Isn't it just a bowl of ordinary egg fried rice? Young people nowadays just can't resist temptation. Once a woman seduces them, they will fall for it. It's probably a hired help. The young man was completely tempted by the delicious egg fried rice. He scanned the QR code and said anxiously, I'll transfer 50 yuan to you now, and give me another bowl of egg fried rice. No need to transfer. I won't sell it to you. Su Xinyan refused. The young man was puzzled. Why not sell it? It's just 51 bowls, it's not like I won't pay you. Su Xinyan smiled and said, I only sell 1 bowl of this fried rice to the same person every day. This woman is pretty, but she's not very smart and won't even try to make money. The young man muttered as he left. Su Xinyan scooped a bowl of egg fried rice from the pot and continued to shout, selling egg fried rice, the best egg fried rice in the world. Give me a bowl. A woman with heavy makeup came forward. 500. The woman's facial features suddenly became ferocious. Didn't you sell 51 bowls just now? Why did it become 500 when it came to me? Su Xinyan explained with a smile, the first bowl was at a trial price, and now it has returned to the original price of 500 per bowl. A bowl of fried rice costs 500, why don't you go rob a bank? The heavily made-up woman cursed as she retreated from the crowd. 500 a bowl is too expensive, even scenic spots don't dare to sell it at this price. The rich girl doesn't know how to do business, she just bullies us ordinary people. Damn, I was so busy watching the fun that I was late for work. Seeing that no one came forward to buy, Chen Feng pinched his nose and shouted in the crowd, spend a little money to eat the best egg fried rice in the world. This is enough for me to brag about for several years. Hearing this, a fashionable high school student stepped forward, transferred 500 yuan, and said loudly to Su Xinyan, beautiful sister, give me a bowl of egg fried rice. Okay, handsome boy, here's your fried rice tilder. Su Xinyan handed over the fried rice. Their high school student took it, picked up a few grains of rice with chopsticks and put them into his mouth. Holy crap, it's so delicious. He was no longer cautious and started eating with big mouthfuls, quickly finishing the bowl of egg fried rice like autumn wind sweeping fallen leaves. Delicious, so delicious, this is indeed the best egg fried rice in the world. He was so moved that tears streamed down his face. He picked up his phone and asked, "Beautiful sister, can I take a picture with you?" "Sure." Su Xinyan leaned forward and smiled at the camera. "Thank you, beautiful sister. I will come over to eat your egg fried rice tomorrow." Their high school student was satisfied and censored the photo with Su Xinyan and posted it to his QQ space, adding a caption. "If you want to see my sister's real face, please transfer 20 yuan to me and I will send it to you privately. If you transfer 50 yuan, you can directly send her QQ. The number of places is limited, so hurry up if you want to buy." The onlookers were all stunned. A bowl of ordinary egg fried rice makes everyone cry after eating it. It seems to be really delicious. Although 500 yuan a bowl is a bit expensive, if it is really delicious, it is worth buying a bowl. "Give me a bowl. I want one too," Su Xinyan said as she served herself some fried rice. "Whoever pays 5,000 first will be the one I sell this bowl of fried rice to." When they heard that the fried rice that was selling for 500 yuan just now was going to be sold for 5,000 yuan in a blink of an eye, many people were discouraged. "My monthly salary is only 5,000 yuan, who am I trying to cheat? Does this woman know how to do business? People who take advantage of their good looks to do whatever they want, I despise this kind of people the most." Su Xinyan looked at the complaining crowd and thought of the live broadcast of Su Xinyu that she had secretly watched. She put her hands on the table and said loudly, "Come on, my friends, come and buy my egg fried rice. Those who have bought it will send me a private message later and I will serve it to you." Hesitant to speak. All the male compatriots were excited. "What? He tilder." Su Xinyan originally wanted to say that she wanted to get a fan card, but when she remembered that she was not live streaming, she smiled and changed her words, get points. "I'm really good at playing games." Cut. The male compatriots who had just become excited suddenly lost interest. 5,000 yuan has been received in Alipay. A beautiful woman dressed in gold and silver came forward, her eyes full of tears. Although she was about the same age as Su Xinyan, her face looked tired and her eyes were dull. "Sister, I've already given you the money. After you sell this pot of fried rice, go back. Don't do this kind of thing again. Find a decent job. I tell you, all men are bad." Su Xinyan was confused by what she heard. She handed over the egg fried rice. "Thank you for your suggestion, this is your egg fried rice. I don't want to eat. I have no appetite." The beautiful woman shook her hand to refuse. "Just take a bite. This bowl of egg fried rice is really delicious. It will make you happy instantly." The beautiful woman had no way of refusing Su Xinyan's invitation, so she picked it up and took a bite. She chewed carefully, and her dull eyes suddenly became bright and her frowning brows relaxed. After eating a bowl of egg fried rice, her pale face became rosy and radiant, and her mood improved as well. "Sister, thank you for the egg fried rice. After eating it, I feel really happy." The beautiful woman suddenly felt full of positive energy. "I'm going to break up with that greasy man right now. I don't want to be his mistress anymore. I want to find a decent job and live a wonderful life." "Oh. Okay, come on." Su Xinyan watched her leave and looked at Chen Feng in the crowd with surprise. This bowl of egg fried rice is so magical that it can actually lead people back to the right path. Did Chen Feng cast a spell during the cooking process? Chen Feng smiled and said nothing. Before Su Xinyan could continue to hawk her wares, he pinched his nose and spoke first. "Isn't this Su Xinyan, who is known as a genius painter? Why is she selling fried rice here?" After hearing this, many people picked up their phones and started searching on Baidu. "It's her indeed. She's already worth over 100 million, why is she still selling fried rice? Goddess. I didn't expect my goddess to be standing in front of me selling egg fried rice, but I didn't recognize her." A student from the Academy of Fine Arts stepped forward and said excitedly, "Goddess Su, I'm your fan. I'm so excited to see you. I want to buy your egg fried rice. Thank you for your love." Su Xinyan smiled and pointed to the QR code, 50,000. 50,000? The man changed his expression and left in an instant. I'm sorry, I think I recognized the wrong person. Beauty. A greasy man with a big belly came forward, generously transferred 50,000 yuan, and said loudly, "Give me a bowl of egg fried rice that will make me happy." Su Xinyan handed over the egg fried rice and asked with a smile, "Brother, your egg fried rice. By the way, are you unhappy about something?" The greasy man swallowed 2 mouthfuls of rice, looked at the beautiful woman's back which had already disappeared without a trace, and burst into tears. "My little baby, she has left me forever." Chapter 36. I won't sell it anymore. Just at this moment, a black BMW stopped at the entrance of the gymnasium. Jiang Yue, who was sitting in the passenger seat, took off his glasses and asked curiously, "What's going on over there? Why is it so lively? I'll go down and take a look." As soon as the driver got off the car, he heard passers-by talking about fried rice. People are buying fried rice for 50,000 new Taiwan dollars a bowl. It's really unfair. It looks really delicious. If I had money, I would buy a bowl to try it. The best egg fried rice in the world. How dare you brag about it? The driver probably understood what he heard, and walked up to Jiang Yue and said, "Mr. Jiang, they seem to be selling the best egg fried rice in the world over there." The best egg fried rice in the world. Jiang Yue frowned, got out of the car, and said with interest, "Let's go and take a look." Walking to the breakfast stall, he looked at Su Xinyan with a smile and asked, "Beauty, I heard that you sell the best egg fried rice in the world." "Not bad." Su Xinyan nodded. "Then give me a bowl." Just as Jiang Yue was about to buy something, someone beside him whispered to him, "This girl is really rip-off when selling fried rice. She sold the first bowl for 50 and the second bowl for 500. Then how much should I pay if I buy it now?" It was the first time that Jiang Yue heard of someone doing business in this way. 500,000. 500,000 for a bowl of fried rice. Jiang Yue obviously didn't believe it and looked at Su Xinyan. "Beauty, how much is a bowl of your egg fried rice?" Su Xinyan picked up the last bowl of egg fried rice in her hand and said with a smile, "This is the last bowl of egg fried rice today. If you really want to buy it." Everyone pricked up their ears, curious about what astonishing price Su Xinyan would say this time. Unexpectedly, the next second, she changed the subject, "Then I won't sell it." A look of surprise flashed across Jiang Yue's face. He couldn't help but reveal his identity. "Beauty, to be honest, I am a judge of the Master Chef competition. I am very interested in your bowl of the best egg fried rice in the world. Sell it to me and the price is negotiable. You can ask the program team for reimbursement when the time comes." Su Xinyan was not moved at all. "If you don't sell it, you don't sell it." The driver couldn't help but say, "This is the famous cooking master Mr. Jiang Yue. It's your honor that he is interested in your egg fried rice." Chen Feng stood among the crowd, a meaningful smile on his face. He pinched his nose and shouted, "I said I won't sell it, and I won't sell it even if I have to trade it for a spot in the MasterChef contest finals." Jiang Yue turned around and looked, but didn't find the person who said this. He thought about it and felt that this made sense. "Beauty, sell me a portion of egg fried rice. If it's really delicious, I'll let you participate in the finals of the God of Cooking competition. How about that?" Su Xinyan's eyes quickly met Chen Feng's. She blinked and couldn't help but admire Chen Feng's clever move in her heart. Ahem. With a cough, she refused seriously, "I'm sorry, but I have no interest in the competition you mentioned. I won't sell you my fried rice." Su Xinyan was determined not to sell it, and Jiang Yue had no choice. The driver reminded in a low voice, "Mr. Jiang, the race is about to start, let's go in quickly." Jiang Yue took a reluctant look at the fried rice in Su Xinyan's hand, nodded, and left. I had just taken 2 steps when I heard Su Xinyan's voice coming from behind me. Come on, the last bowl of egg fried rice, given away randomly." Jiang Yue paused. "That is too much." He wasn't selling it the second before, but as soon as he left, he randomly picked people to give it away. Isn't this obviously targeting him? "I want egg fried rice. Give it to me, I only have one last breath left. The fried rice is for you, and the boss lady is for me." The crowd watching scrambled frantically and almost toppled the breakfast stall. Su Xinyan pretended to choose carefully for a few seconds, and finally her eyes fell on Chen Feng. "I'll give this bowl of egg fried rice to him. Brush. A bunch of envious, jealous and hateful eyes stared at Chen Feng. If looks could kill, Chen Feng would have been cut into pieces by now. Thanks. Chen Feng walked forward, took the fried rice from Su Xinyan's hand, and gobbled it up quickly, finishing half a bowl of it. Delicious, this is the best egg fried rice I have ever had in my life. Some people couldn't help but sigh. Young man, how old are you, and you're talking about your whole life? Chen Feng's eyes were filled with tears as he said excitedly, I have never eaten such delicious egg fried rice before, and I will never eat egg fried rice better than this in the future. Everyone was a little skeptical. If it's so delicious, why do you have half a bowl left? Chen Feng raised his hand, wiped his dry eyes, and put down his chopsticks. It's because it's so delicious, so I can't bear to eat the remaining half bowl. Jiang Yue, who was not far away, swallowed hard. TSK, that's boring. I can't eat it anyway. I'm late for work. I will come early tomorrow and try to have the first bowl of egg fried rice. Disband, disperse, it's all internally appointed. The crowd gradually dispersed. Su Xinyan stretched, put her hand on Chen Feng's shoulder, and deliberately said loudly, Chen Feng, this is obviously the fried rice you made, why don't you admit it in front of those people? Chen Feng replied modestly, I never cook for others to praise me. As long as someone is satisfied with the food I cook, I will be very satisfied. Have you never thought about participating in the MasterChef competition? Su Xinyan deliberately glanced in Jiang Yue's direction. That competition seems to be able to be broadcast on TV. It's no problem for you to become famous with your cooking skills. Are you willing to run such a small breakfast shop for the rest of your life? What if I am willing? What if I am not willing? Chen Feng shook his head, put on his delivery uniform, and left the breakfast shop without any regrets. Well, seriously, the dishes you cook are so delicious. I feel sorry for the judges now. They don't even get to taste the dishes you cook. Su Xinyan caught up with Chen Feng. Looking at the backs of the two people leaving, Jiang Yue's body trembled. He ran to the breakfast shop, picked up the half bowl of egg fried rice that Chen Feng had left, smelled it, picked up the chopsticks and started eating. Mr. Jiang. The driver couldn't bear it anymore. A nationally renowned cooking master and senior judge of a food show was actually eating other people's leftover fried rice in front of a no-name breakfast shop. It's delicious. It's really delicious. Jiang Yue finished eating the egg fried rice and licked his lips with satisfaction. This is indeed the best egg fried rice in the world. He put down his chopsticks and was about to chase Chen Feng, but found that he had already sped away in his Bugatti. He drives a Bugatti, but sells fried rice and delivers takeout. This guy is truly extraordinary. I must have him participate in the MasterChef contest. Jiang Yue secretly made up his mind and picked up the takeout order on the ground, which had just fallen out of Chen Feng's pocket. Xingji Food Stall. He looked at the name of the restaurant on the takeaway order and blinked thoughtfully. Chapter 37, Aunt is here. Send Su Xinyan home. Chen Feng drove his sports car to Xingji Food Stall. Buzz. A huge roar sounded, and a handsome Bugatti Veyron sped past everyone's eyes, and after a neat drift, it stopped in front of the door of Xingji Food Stall. Juming looked at Chen Feng getting out of the car and couldn't help but sneer, thinking that this kid went to rent a sports car again just to show off. You're finally here, kid. I have a pile of takeouts waiting for you to deliver. Come over and get to work. Zhu Ming rushed forward. Chen Feng raised the corner of his mouth. I came here today to resign. Resign? Zhu Ming looked at the Bugatti Veyron and asked in surprise, did you win the lottery? No. So you were demolished? No. If you are none of them, then why did you resign? Don't you want to make money? Chen Feng replied modestly, because my mother-in-law is the richest person in Chengdu. Zhu Ming looked at Chen Feng with an idiotic look in his eyes and raised his hand to feel the temperature of his forehead. You are confused, the richest person in Rongqing is your mother-in-law. Then I said the richest person in the world is my father. Hearing Chen Feng's words, a beautiful woman who was sitting with her head down eating raised her head and looked at him curiously. She has delicate features and elegant makeup. She is wearing a blue and white dress, and has fair skin and beautiful looks, like a fairy. Although she was eating the simplest food at a food stall, her eyes were as gentle as jade, and her every move revealed her ladylike temperament. Waiter. Hearing the beauty's call, Zhu Ming immediately ran over and asked with a smile, Beauty, I'm the manager of the food stall. How can I help you? Zhang Yuyan pointed at the dish in front of her that had barely been touched and spoke slowly. This sweet and sour flour dish is too sweet, it completely covers up the vinegar taste. Is your sugar free? This is sweet and sour pork ribs. Zhu Ming corrected awkwardly. Oh, really? Zhang Yuyan looked at another dish. This steamed sea base doesn't even have the scales scraped off. Your chef needs to get new glasses. Zhu Ming didn't expect that a woman who looked gentle and elegant could say such sharp words. He wiped the cold sweat dripping from his forehead and said with an apologetic smile, "This is our restaurant's negligence. We can give you a free meal for this dish." Zhang Yuyan refused outright. No need for a free meal, and this bowl of tomato egg drop soup, not only does it have no freshness, it's also extremely salty. How can anyone drink it? Then I'll go get you some juice. Do you want Coke or coconut milk? Zhu Ming apologized repeatedly. Order peach juice, Zhang Yuyan continued, and the free meal you mentioned just now. Guaranteed free of charge. Just when Zhu Ming went to get juice for Zhang Yuyan, a black BMW stopped in front of Xingji food stall. Jiang Yue came over excitedly according to the address on the takeaway order and glanced around the store. When he saw Zhang Yuyan also eating here, a hint of surprise appeared on his face. Teacher Zhang, I didn't expect to meet you here again just after leaving the finals. Zhang Yuyan smiled and nodded. Are you coming to eat too? Jiang Yue shook his head. I'm not here to eat, I'm here to find a chef. Chef? Here? Zhang Yuyan smiled and said, if you're looking for that, you've come to the wrong place. I just tried the food here, and it doesn't taste that good. If I had known what the contestants had cooked, I would have eaten more. The chef I'm looking for is right here. Jiang Yue looked at Chen Feng and excitedly grabbed his hand. Chef, I finally found you. Chen Feng calmly adjusted his delivery uniform and said, sorry, you got the wrong person. I'm not mistaken. You are the chef who can make the best egg fried rice in the world. I came here this time just to sincerely invite you to participate in the God of Cooking competition. Zhang Yuyan laughed out loud and said disdainfully, Lao Jiang, you must be mistaken. This guy is just a delivery man. How could he be the chef you are talking about? No, he's a chef, he's a real chef. Jiang Yue recalled the delicious egg fried rice he had eaten in the morning, and 2 lines of tears flowed down his face with emotion. He looked at Chen Feng and said firmly, Chef, you must participate in this cooking competition. I believe you can beat the other contestants in seconds. Zhu Ming was also dumbfounded. He stepped forward and said, Sir, you may have recognized the wrong person. This guy is a part-time delivery guy in my store. He is still in college. He is not the chef you are looking for. Jiang Yue waved his hand, since you all don't believe he is a chef. He looked at Chen Feng, Chef, please make another serving of egg fried rice. It's hard to refuse such a kind invitation. Chen Feng had no choice but to agree, walked into the kitchen and started making fried rice with eggs. I could smell the delicious egg fried rice he made from far away. Snap. As soon as Jiang Yue finished praising him, Chen Feng's hand shook and an egg fell to the ground. That's it. Zhang Yuyan sneered. Don't worry, I believe him. Those who ate the egg fried rice he made were moved to tears. Boom. As soon as the praise was finished, a blazing fire started in the pot. Zhu Ming couldn't bear it anymore. Chen Feng, what on earth are you doing? You didn't even seize the opportunity given to you to show off. Are you trying to piss me off to death? Don't worry, delicious food is worth waiting for. I still remember that bowl of egg fried rice very clearly, with golden rice grains, sweet cucumber cubes and... Bang! Before Jiang Yue finished praising, a pot of egg fried rice was already served on a plate. Looking at the black charcoal in front of him that was indistinguishable from the ingredients, he looked at Chen Feng in disbelief. Zhang Yuyan laughed so hard that tears almost came out. Lao Jiang, is this the best egg fried rice in the world that you said? No way. This is impossible. Jiang Yue almost doubted his life. He picked up the spoon and scooped a large spoonful of fried rice into his mouth. After chewing twice, his expression suddenly changed and his face became as dark as the fried rice. Vomit. Chen Feng said apologetically, I've already told you that I'm not the chef you're looking for, and I don't know how to make egg fried rice. You've got the wrong person. After saying that, he took off his apron and strode out of the kitchen. I couldn't have mistaken him. Was he deliberately impersonating me? After Jiang Yue vomited, he took another big bite of fried rice. Vomit. This bite almost sent him directly to the hospital. After leaving the food stall, Chen Feng got into the sports car and headed straight for the villa. As soon as he walked into the living room, he heard Sushin Yu eating potato chips and ordering Chen Feng, "Auntie will be here soon." Chen Feng, go to the door to greet her. Aunt. Chen Feng wondered. My mother-in-law actually has a younger sister. Why are you still standing there? Go quickly. She just sent me a message saying she's at the door. Sushin Yu urged, tapping her white feet. No need to greet me, I've come here by myself. A gentle voice sounded. Chen Feng felt that the voice was somewhat familiar and turned around. The blue and white dress with its fluttering skirt catches the eye. The beautiful woman who had just eaten at Shinji food stall was his aunt. Chen Feng looked at her in surprise. Zhang Yiyan also looked at Chen Feng in surprise. Delivery man, why are you here too? Chapter 38, My Heart. Aunt Hilda. Su Xinyan rushed over and asked curiously, do you know Chen Feng? I saw him at lunch. Zhang Yiyan walked into the living room carrying a lot of bags and said, okay, let's not talk about others. My little darlings, I miss you so much. Sushin Yu handed over the juice. Auntie Tilda. Yeah, long time no see, you look a lot prettier now. Zhang Yiyan smiled and picked one of the bags and handed it to her. This is something that your aunt picked especially for you. Sushin Yu took the bag and said, Aunt, what is this? Peach juice, still iced, drink it quickly. Thank you, Aunt. Sushin Yu pulled the corner of her mouth, and the smile on her face looked a little awkward. Su Xinyan jumped onto the sofa, hugged Zhang Yiyan's arm, and asked curiously, Aunt, what about mine? Yang, Auntie knows that you like sweet and sour pork ribs the most. Here, this is what Auntie bought for you. See if it suits your taste. Zhang Yiyan picked out a bag and handed it over. Thank you, Auntie. Su Xinyan took out a takeaway box, picked up a piece of sweet and sour pork ribs without hesitation and started eating. Here are the chopsticks. Zhang Yiyan asked with a gentle smile, is it delicious? Yeah, it's delicious. Su Xinyan's smile was a little forced. Just eat it if you like. Zhang Yiyan looked around the living room and said, hey, where are the other little darlings? Aren't they at home? Sushin Yu put down the peach juice and replied, Seventh sister is in cram school and will be back soon. Okay, then I'll put the egg drop soup I prepared for her in the refrigerator first. Zhang Yiyan took out the takeout boxes from several other bags and introduced them one by one, like treasures. This is the steamed sea bass I prepared for your eldest sister, this is the minced meat vermicelli for your second sister, and this is for your third sister. Su Xinyan interrupted with a smile, Aunt, thank you for your kindness. We will eat all of this. Okay, then you guys sit down, and I'll go put these vegetables in the refrigerator first. Zhang Yiyan stood up as she spoke. As soon as she left, Sisters Su Xinyan and Su Xinyu both breathed a sigh of relief. Tilda. Su Xinyan took a big gulp of water and couldn't help but complain in a low voice, this sweet and sour pork ribs is too unpalatable. There is too much sugar and you can't taste the meat. It feels like it's all made of flour. Su Xinyu looked calm, as if she was used to it. If it was delicious, Auntie wouldn't have packed it up and brought it back for us to eat. And she must have deliberately picked a restaurant that looked terrible. After criticizing it, the owner agreed to give her a free meal, so she packed up the food and brought it back. Su Xinyan knew it all. Hearing the conversation between the two sisters, Chen Feng couldn't help but chuckle. Looking at the familiar peach juice and takeaway boxes, he probably understood why the two sisters both had expressions of wanting to cry but not being able to. My little darlings, your mommy said she has found a fiancé for you. Where is he? Come and introduce him to your aunt. Zhang Yiyan came out of the kitchen and asked excitedly. Su Xinyu and Su Xinyan looked at each other silently, and then looked at Chen Feng at the same time. Where is it? Zhang Yiyan followed their gaze, walked in front of Chen Feng, and looked around him. Where is it? Su Xinyan smiled and pointed at Chen Feng. Aunt, he is. That's it. Zhang Yiyan realized that what she said seemed to be disrespectful to Chen Feng. She nodded awkwardly and smiled. What my aunt meant is that this one is also very good. She walked over to the sofa and sat down. Young man, what is your name? Chen Feng. Chen Feng answered truthfully. Well, the name is okay, and it's easy to remember. Zhang Yuyan pointed to the sofa opposite. Sit down, don't be restrained, we are all family. Chen Feng nodded. Thank you, auntie. Xiao Feng, I saw you delivering takeout today. Is this your job? Zhang Yuyan continued to ask. That, auntie, delivering food is just one of Chen Feng's hobbies. Su Xinyan immediately came to Chen Feng's rescue. He is very capable, he cooks delicious food, he is good at drawing, and he is also very handsome. As she spoke, she whispered in Zhang Yuyan's ear, his figure is even more amazing, with 8-pack abs. 8. Zhang Yuyan was so excited that she couldn't help but scream out loud. Su Xinyu couldn't listen any longer. Aunt, be reserved. Zhang Yuyan quickly glanced at Chen Feng and said to Su Xinyan, Yang, I don't know if he has 8-pack abs, but when you say that his cooking is delicious, I, your aunt, will be the first one to disbelieve it. It's true, the egg fried rice made by Chen Feng is especially delicious. Su Xinyan looked confident. Su Xinyu also helped to speak up, he's not bad down there either. You two little darlings don't need to speak for him. I, your aunt, have eaten all kinds of delicious food. Only when I think it's good can I be called a good cook. Su Xinyu couldn't help but turn her face away and muttered in a low voice, then there's probably no food in this world that you think is good, otherwise you can't always trick the boss into giving you free meals. Zhang Yuyan yawned lazily. I'm a little sleepy. I won't chat with you two little darlings for now. I'm going to take a nice nap first. Su Xinyan stood up quickly. Aunt, go to my room and rest. Zhang Yuyan shook her head. No, I like sleeping on the 8th floor. But the 8th floor is already Chen. Chen Feng smiled and said to Zhang Yuyan, let aunt go to the 8th floor to rest. When Su Xinyu heard this, she immediately stepped forward and said, Aunt, the 8th floor is being renovated. We can't sleep there after it's just been painted. You should go to my room. Zhang Yuyan had no choice but to give up. Okay then. Su Xinyu took Zhang Yuyan to the room to rest. Su Xinyan patted her chest and breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Feng, don't take what my aunt said just now to heart. She has a sharp tongue but a soft heart. She has the same personality as Yeye, you know. Chen Feng smiled and nodded. I know. She is a gourmet. Although none of us have tasted her cooking, she is still very famous, so she is very picky about food. Su Xinyan put her hand on Chen Feng's shoulder and said, Chen Feng, you will be the one to cook tonight. I believe you can completely conquer her. It is certainly not enough to just conquer the mother-in-law and fiancé. Conquering your aunt is also crucial. Okay. Chen Feng agreed without hesitation, then Yao. Don't worry, I will pick up your 7th sister from school for you. 6 o'clock in the evening. The aroma of food wafted through the Su family's mansion. Potato brisket, fish-flavored pork shreds, garlic pork, sweet and sour spare ribs, ants climbing trees, stir-fried shrimp with green onions, boiled fish fillet. The delicious dishes with good color, aroma and taste are placed on the table, making people drool just by looking at them. Zhang Yuyan, who was still sleepy, immediately ran downstairs at the speed of a 100-meter sprint when she smelled the fragrance. Her eyes lit up and she picked up the chopsticks and ate a piece of sweet and sour pork ribs. Simply delicious. Aunt, the soup is here, be careful. Su Xinyu brought out a pot of seaweed egg drop soup. Yeye, the new chef you hired is very good. This sweet and sour spare ribs alone is really appealing to me. Zhang Yuyan couldn't help but praise. Chapter 39, Really Fragrance. Really. Su Xinyu brought the soup to the table. Zhang Yuyan has eaten 2 pieces of sweet and sour pork ribs in a row. She picked up a piece and put it into Su Xinyu's mouth. It's really delicious, try it. Nonsense. How could Chen Feng's food not be delicious? Su Xinyu thought about it in her heart, but she said lightly, it's okay. It's delicious. The chef you hired is very good. I'll try the boiled fish fillet again. Zhang Yuyan was so excited that she looked like she had been hungry for 3 days and 3 nights. Her eyes lit up as she looked at the table full of food. While eating, he kept praising the food. The boiled fish fillet is soft, tender and smooth, very good. The garlic pork is fatty but not greasy, so delicious. The fish-flavored pork shreds are delicious too. Su Xinyan expected Zhang Yuyan's reaction. Aunt, I've never heard you praise other people's cooking. Today is definitely the first time. Zhang Yuyan was enjoying the meal. This dish is so delicious, it suits my taste perfectly. I have to borrow your chef for a few days, this meal is not enough for me. Aunt Hilda. Su Xinyao came out with some juice and brought the biggest contributor tonight to Zhang Yuyan, proudly introducing her. This sumptuous meal on the table tonight was all made by brother Chen Feng alone. Snap! A chopstick fell to the ground. Zhang Yuyan looked at Chen Feng, then at her sisters, and suddenly felt that all the food on the table didn't taste good anymore. Cough cough. Su Xinyan coughed, and the smile on the corner of her mouth was somewhat meaningful. Su Xinyao had just returned from school and didn't know the situation. She asked curiously, "Fourth sister, why are you looking at my aunt and smiling like this?" Su Xinyan half cupped her hand to her mouth, leaned close to Su Xinyao's ear, and said in a pretended low voice, but deliberately in a volume that Zhang Yuyan could hear. "Just now, when your brother Chen Feng was cooking, I swore in disgust that even if she jumped off here, she would not eat a single bite of the food your brother Chen Feng cooked, Tilda." "Oh, so that's how it is, Tilda." Su Xinyao nodded and glanced at Zhang Yuyan, who had almost finished a bowl of rice. Auntie probably doesn't know that this table of food was made by brother Chen Feng. If she knew, she would definitely not eat it, right, Auntie? Zhang Yuyan was speechless. Chen Feng smiled and asked everyone to sit down. "Hurry up and eat, the food will get cold soon." He picked up a piece of sweet and sour pork ribs and gave it to Su Xinyan. "Yang Yang, this is your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs." Delicious, Tilda." Su Xinyan couldn't help but give a thumbs up. "Yao Yao, you are growing up now, so eat more beef." "Thank you, brother Chen Feng." In fact, Chen Feng didn't need to do anything, the little girl was already enjoying the potatoes and beef brisket. Su Xinyu noticed that Chen Feng raised his chopsticks. She frowned and raised her hand to cover the bowl in front of her. "I don't want it, don't give it to me." Yeah, I'm not giving these shrimps to you. I'm giving them to my aunt." Chen Feng raised his chopsticks in the air and stopped again. He sighed, "Forget it. My aunt dislikes the food I cook. I'll eat it myself." Zhang Yuyan watched helplessly as the crystal shrimp that was so close to her entered Chen Feng's stomach. Gulp Tilda, she swallowed, looking at the table full of food but unable to pick up her chopsticks. Tears were about to fall. Sizzle. Su Xinyu opened a can of ice cola unhappily, and was about to drink it when Chen Feng stopped her. Yeah, you can't drink cold drinks during this period. Be obedient." Su Xinyu widened her eyes in surprise. How did Chen Feng know that her relatives had just come yesterday? "Here, I'll give you my favorite shrimp." Chen Feng picked up the spoon, scooped a large spoonful of shrimp and put it into Su Xinyu's bowl. "Just now I just tasted it for you to see if it was tender and hot. Now you can eat it without worry." "TSK, who asked you to be so sentimental? I have my own hands and I can pick up food." Although she said this, when Su Xinyu lowered her head to eat, the corners of her mouth couldn't help but curl up. The three sisters couldn't stop eating. Zhang Yuyan sat on the side. Hungry and thirsty was not enough to describe her mood at the moment. "Fifth sister, have you finished eating?" Su Xinyu turned around with the empty bowl in her hand. "I'll go get more rice." "Give me another bowl then." Su Xinyan was not willing to be left behind. "And me, I want one too." Zhang Yuyan actively suggested, "Yao Yao, Yang Yang, you two are so old, go and serve yourselves." Su Xinyan saw through it at a glance. "Aunt, you want to eat secretly while we are not here, right?" Who said that? How could it be possible?" Zhang Yuyan blushed, struggling to hold onto the last line. "Auntie, am I such a spineless person in your eyes?" "Yes." The three sisters nodded in unison. Chen Feng smiled and stood up. "I'll go serve you some food." He glanced at the empty bowl in front of Zhang Yuyan again. "Aunt, I'll give you another bowl." "Good." Zhang Yuyan almost agreed, but then she immediately refused. "Not interested at all, eat it yourself." She turned her face away and didn't look at the food on the table. By the time Chen Feng and the three sisters of the Su family finished their meal, there were actually quite a few dishes left on the table. "Burp Tilda." Su Xinyan touched her obviously bulging belly and said contentedly, "I'm so full, Tilda." Su Xinyao couldn't help laughing as she looked at her belly. "Fourth sister, you look like a pregnant woman now." Su Xinyan squinted. "Look at your own belly, it's not much better than mine." Su Xinyao held her belly while lying on the sofa and began to let her imagination run wild. "Fourth sister, fifth sister, tell me, if we are really pregnant with Brother Chen Feng's child, what name would you like to give the child? Chen, how? Su Xinyan thought about it. Which how? That's R.I. Chen how. Su Xinyan laughed, R.I. Chen R.I.D.I.R.I. Chi Kong, har har har, doesn't it sound cool? Well, if it were me, I would name the boy Su Chen and the girl Su Meng, or Su Shenwan is also fine. Su Xinyao turned her head and looked at Su Xinyu, fifth sister, what about you? Boring. Su Xinyu stood up and didn't want to participate in the discussion. When Zhang Yuyan saw Chen Feng preparing to clean the table, she pretended to be disgusted and said, look at you, you are so clumsy, I'm not going to let you break the plate, just leave it there, I'll clean it up. Chen Feng curled his lips, okay, then I'll trouble you, auntie. Su Xinyan winked at Su Xinyao and said, seventh sister, Chen Feng, let's go to the movies. Let aunt clean up here by herself. As soon as the three people left, Zhang Yuyan immediately picked up the chopsticks and started eating voraciously. So delicious. Late at night, Chen Feng turned off the lights and opened the browser to watch a movie. Suddenly, a figure appeared behind him. He was frightened and quickly switched his desktop to QQ Music. He, no need to hide it, I've seen the URL. Chapter 40, like a wolf or a tiger. Aunt. Chen Feng's hand holding the mouse trembled slightly, how did you get in? I used to sleep on this bed when I came over to play with the babies. It's the one you're sleeping on now. There was only a desk lamp in the room, emitting a dim light. The light from the blue computer screen shone on Zhang Yuyan's face, making her eyes sparkle particularly brightly. I have slept in your bed, and you have slept in your bed, which means that you have indirectly slept with. Ahem. Chen Feng coughed immediately, aunt, don't do it so late at night, you should go back and rest early. Zhang Yuyan's face was full of excitement, and she obviously had no intention of going back to her room to rest. She put her hands on the back of the chair, and her round fingertips touched Chen Feng's back from time to time. She stared at the computer and urged anxiously, why are you pretending? I'm an experienced person. Go back to the webpage you were on. I'll watch it with you. Smelling the rose-scented shower gel emanating from his aunt's body, Chen Feng's breathing became rapid. Aunt, this isn't good, is it? Hey, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We're all adults, it's okay to watch it together. Zhang Yuyan leaned close to Chen Feng's ear and smiled softly, don't worry, auntie won't tell anyone. Oh well. Chen Feng had no choice but to agree. He clicked on the web page he had just browsed, and the fascinating headline, 7 Men vs. 1 Woman, immediately popped up on the page. Zhang Yuyan's eyes lit up, yes, that's it, I like it the most. Chen Feng clicked play. Suddenly, familiar music and lines sounded. Calabash Brothers, 7 brothers on one vine. Goblin, return my grandpa to me. An hour and a half later. The Calabash Brothers movie is over. Zhang Yuyan stared at the computer with great interest. Xiao Feng, that movie about 7 men and 1 woman is also quite good. How about we watch it together? Chen Feng looked at the time and it was almost 12 o'clock. Aunt, it's getting late today. We can watch Snow White tomorrow night. That's fine. Auntie will listen to you. Zhang Yuyan yawned, and suddenly remembered that she hadn't said anything yet. By the way, Xiao Feng, actually, my aunt came to see you because she wanted to invite you to participate in the God of Cooking competition. Chef God contest. Chen Feng pretended to be curious. Zhang Yuyan introduced briefly, it's actually a cooking competition. I'm one of the judges of this competition. As long as you agree to participate in the competition, you know the result tilde. Seeing Zhang Yuyan winking at him, Chen Feng said seriously, Aunt, I don't understand what you mean, and I don't want to understand what you mean. Xiao Feng, you misunderstood what my aunt meant. Zhang Yuyan immediately explained with a smile, what I mean is, with your cooking skills, you can definitely beat other contestants in seconds when participating in this competition. You must be the Chengdu cooking god. I like cooking, and I like cooking for the people I like. Other than that, I have no interests. Hearing Chen Feng's straightforward refusal, Zhang Yuyan said coquettishly, Xiao Feng, auntie sincerely wants to invite you to participate. If I can't eat the dishes you cook, then I will have no appetite sitting on the judge's seat. Chen Feng's mouth twitched. My aunt is a foodie, so her real purpose is to eat the food she cooks, right? Xiao Feng, look at your aunt's extremely sincere and genuine eyes and answer me again. Do you want to participate in the God of Cooking competition? Don't want. Chen Feng turned off the computer and stood up. He turned his back to Zhang Yuyan and put his hands on the hem of his clothes. Aunt, I'm going to take a shower. You should go back and rest early. Zhang Yuyan stared at Chen Feng boldly and asked enthusiastically, do you want your aunt to help you with your bath? Chen Feng felt a cold wind blowing across his back. No need, auntie. Then I can pass you the shower gel. No need to bother. Then. Zhang Yuyan suddenly walked up to Chen Feng. Yang Yang said you have 8 abdominal muscles, can you show them to your aunt? Aunt, it's really good that you are so unrestrained. When he saw her in the restaurant for the first time, Chen Feng thought she was a gentle and virtuous woman. Unexpectedly, she is not only a foodie, but also a foodie who likes to play with colors. Seeing Chen Feng's obviously straightened back, Zhang Yuyan laughed and said, okay, auntie won't tease you anymore. Go take a shower. I will not give up on participating in the God of Cooking competition. Watch Zhang Yuyan leave the room. Chen Feng breathed a sigh of relief. A woman is like a wolf at 30 and like a tiger at 40. Zhang Yuyan is somewhere between a tiger and a wolf. Any other man would definitely not be able to withstand her. If it weren't for his good self-control, he would have been captured just now. Although the air conditioner was on, Chen Feng still felt a thin layer of sweat all over his body. After taking off his clothes, he stood under the shower and took a refreshing shower. Just at this moment. Host, do you want to sign in immediately? The system voice sounded. Sign now. Sign in successfully. This sign in reward, perspective eyes. Tip, you can choose to turn it on or off at any time according to their host's mood. X-ray eyes. Chen Feng couldn't help but feel sullen in his heart. Select open now. He grabbed his little brother excitedly, without even noticing that the water temperature in the shower head had been turned to the maximum. Awesome. After turning on the X-ray vision, even every blood vessel inside the little brother can be clearly seen. Especially that bone that is proud of itself, it is so strong and handsome. Wrong. This is the size that will make women cry and men remain silent. They should call him Big Brother. Chen Feng was obsessed with admiring his older brother and couldn't extricate himself. If there hadn't been a sudden knock on the bathroom door, the hot water would have been enough to scald it to death. Wrap yourself in a towel and walk out of the bathroom. Xiao Feng, are you done taking a bath? Zhang Yuyan held a bowl of steaming noodles and said with a smile, Auntie made this midnight snack especially for you, braised beef noodles. Thank you, Auntie. Chen Feng was flattered and just reached out to take it. It's very hot. Auntie will bring it to the table. Come and eat it, Tilder. Then I'm sorry to bother you, Auntie. Chen Feng walked to the table and just sat down to eat. Zhang Yuyan immediately picked up a cushion and put it on the chair. It's softer this way, Tilder. Auntie. Just as Chen Feng was about to pick up the chopsticks to eat, Zhang Yuyan suddenly took out another pair of chopsticks, picked up a few noodles and handed them to Chen Feng's mouth. Let your aunt feed you. Come on, open your mouth, Tilder. Chen Feng was so scared that he couldn't open his mouth. I originally thought that Zhang Yuyan's behavior just now was scary enough. Unexpectedly, she became even more terrifying when she returned again. Auntie, I can eat by myself. That won't work. Zhang Yuyan said seriously, you can eat it yourself if you want. There are 2 conditions. Choose one of them. Chen Feng already had a bad feeling. What conditions? First, participate in the chef competition. Second, show me your 8-pack abs. You choose. Chapter 41, Crazy Aunt. Chen Feng's mouth twitched. The braised beef noodles in my hand suddenly lost their flavor. Aunt, let me think about the cooking competition again. Chen Feng ate a piece of beef. As for the abdominal muscles, I can't show them to you. If my uncle knew, he would definitely be jealous. Zhang Yuyan laughed. Who told you I'm married? I'm still single, your aunt. She glanced at Chen Feng's body wrapped in a bath towel and said, so, Xiao Feng, can you make a decision now? Chen Feng was so scared that he immediately turned on the computer. Aunt, I'd better watch Snow White with you. The next day, Chen Feng was awakened by a knock on the door. When he opened his eyes, he shuddered with fear. Oh shit! He actually fell asleep on the computer desk. He didn't know when the bath towel fell off and it could barely cover his body. It was just hanging symbolically on his thighs. Zhang Yuyan was sleeping on the big bed facing him with a meaningful smile on her face. Boom boom. Brother Chen Feng, are you awake? Su Xinyao called softly at the door, can you still take me to the cram school today? Chen Feng glanced at the show Pleasant Goat and Big Big Wolf, which was still playing on the computer. Yao Yao, pack your school bag first, I'll take you to school right away. Okay, Brother Chen Feng, I'll wait for you downstairs tilde. Chen Feng breathed a sigh of relief when he heard Su Xinyao's footsteps leaving. After watching Snow White with Zhang Yuyan last night, she wanted to watch Pleasant Goat and Big Big Wolf again. By the second episode, Chen Feng couldn't hold on any longer and fell asleep as soon as he closed his eyes. After quickly changing his clothes and washing up, Chen Feng went straight to the living room. The three sisters were sitting together having breakfast. Su Xinyu saw that Chen Feng had dark circles under his eyes and looked tired. Thinking of what happened between him and Su Xinyan before, she suddenly felt depressed. Su Xinyan asked curiously, why hasn't my aunt gotten up yet? She used to be the most active one during breakfast. Su Xinyao stood up holding the bottle and said, I'll go wake up my aunt. Do you know where my aunt slept last night? As soon as Su Xinyan asked this question, Zhang Yuyan appeared in the living room. Good morning, little darlings. She rushed to the dining table excitedly, show me what delicious breakfast is for you tilde. Su Xinyan pushed a stack of meat buns in front of her, this meat bun is delicious, auntie, please try it. Zhang Yuyan picked one up and put it in her mouth. Yeah, it's okay. As she spoke, she picked up a meat bun and handed it to Chen Feng. Xiao Feng Feng, come and eat the meat bun tilde. Chen Feng almost spit out a mouthful of soy milk. The three sisters of the Su family had weirder expressions on their faces, and they all looked at Zhang Yuyan and Chen Feng with complicated eyes. Zhang Yuyan was unaware. She picked up another fried dough stick and handed it over. Do you want to try soaking fried dough sticks in soy milk? Oh, yes, there is also this xiaomai, although it is not as delicious as the one made by my aunt. Zhang Yuyan put down her chopsticks and stood up. Xiao Feng Feng, auntie will go make you xiaomai now. No need, auntie, actually. Before she could finish her words, Zhang Yuyan had already rushed into the kitchen. The three sisters of the Su family were all dumbfounded. Su Xinyao said in a baby voice, I have never seen my aunt cook. What does the siu mai she makes taste like? Su Xinyan propped her chin with one hand. What prompted my aunt to cook? Was she inspired by Chen Feng's cooking skills last night? Su Xinyu said nothing and looked at Chen Feng twice. Being stared at by his three fiancées at the same time as if they were examining a criminal, Chen Feng said he felt under a lot of pressure. While Zhang Yuyan was still not out of the kitchen, Chen Feng picked up Su Xinya's school bag and strode out of the living room. Yao Yao, I'll take you to school. Su Xinyao trotted after him and said, Brother Chen Feng, but auntie is still making xiaomai for you. It doesn't matter if I eat less, but your studies must not be delayed. Chen Feng took out a car key, drove his sports car and took Su Xinyao directly to school. The consequence of picking the car keys at random is driving out an Aston Martin. My plan to keep a low profile for the day has been ruined again. It is impossible to go home. Chen Feng felt overwhelmed when he thought about facing his aunt who was as fierce as a wolf and a tiger. It's better to learn from women and go shopping to vent your inner emotions. It just so happened that his pants had a hole in them 2 days ago, so Chen Feng walked into a clothing store and picked up a pair of pants to try them on. Waiter, pack up all the pants in this store for me. Zhang Yuyan's voice suddenly rang out. Chen Feng's hand holding the pants trembled. Aunt, how did you know I was here? Zhang Yuyan smiled and said, Xiao Feng Feng, this shows that you and your aunt have telepathy tilde. As she spoke, she took out 2 steamed buns from her bag worth tens of thousands of yuan. These are the buns that your aunt made for you. Come and try them and see if they are delicious. Chen Feng was flattered and took the steamed buns and started eating. By the time he finished eating the steamed buns, Zhang Yuyan had already paid the bill. The trousers in this clothing store are packed and delivered to your home by express. Xiao Feng Feng, if you need anything else, just tell me. I'll be your ATM today. Zhang Yuyan's words immediately aroused the envy, jealousy and hatred of a group of passers-by. Aunt, we are all family, you don't have to be so polite. Chen Feng saw a newly opened puff shop on the roadside. Thinking that Su Xinyu liked to eat puffs the most, he couldn't help but smile. Zhang Yuyan immediately entered the store. Please apply for a card for me and top up 500,000 yuan into it first. After getting the card, she handed it to Chen Feng generously. Xiao Feng, there are 500,000 in here. If you want to eat puffs in the future, you can use this card to pay anytime. Tell your aunt when you are done and she will renew the card for you. Thank you, auntie. After eating 500,000 worth of puffs, you would gain several tons of weight. Chen Feng put the card into his trouser pocket. I just passed the traffic light and saw a group of riders waiting on the roadside. Thinking about how he had been exposed to the same wind and rain as them in the past, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. I'll give you 10 times the money if you sell all your takeout to me. Zhang Yuyan immediately stepped forward and said to a group of riders. Looking at the dozen or so takeout orders that suddenly appeared in his hands, Chen Feng felt like crying but had no tears. Just because I looked at them a few more times in the crowd. My aunt actually bought all the takeaway food they had. And this is just the beginning. For the next hour or so, wherever Chen Feng's eyes fell, as long as he took a second look at something, Zhang Yuyan would immediately rush over to buy it. From chicken chop milk tea to car roller skating, from clothing accessories to antiques and medicines. If Chen Feng hadn't strongly stopped her, Zhang Yuyan would have almost bought a hospital, 2 beauty salons, 3 barbecue stalls, 4. So scary. My aunt is so scary. Just as Chen Feng was silently praying that someone would come and subdue his aunt, Zhang Yuyan suddenly shouted excitedly. Xiao Feng, there's something fun up ahead, let's go check it out. Chapter 42, Gambling Stone Venue. Zhang Yuyan pulled Chen Feng straight to the Emerald City. The largest gambling stone venue in Chengdu is located here. A batch of rough materials had just been purchased at the venue, and the chance of producing top-quality jadeite was very high. Jadeite gambling enthusiasts from Chengdu and surrounding areas all rushed over upon hearing the news. I'll buy this one. I bet there's going to be some jade in here. Fuck, it's out, awesome. The venue was packed with people, and excited screams could be heard one after another. Chen Feng followed Zhang Yuyan and saw a middle-aged man spend tens of thousands of dollars to buy an ordinary-looking stone. This kind of green material that looks uneven is called huapai material, and its price is relatively low among all the raw materials. Zhang Yuyan stared at the rough material in the middle-aged man's hand for a while, and said to Chen Feng confidently, there will definitely be jadeite in it. Trust me, aunt, it won't be wrong. As soon as he finished speaking, he heard the wailing of a middle-aged man. This. Zhang Yuyan smiled awkwardly. Xiao Feng, so you see, gambling on stones is just like buying lottery tickets. If you are lucky, a mobike can turn into a motorcycle. But if you are unlucky, a Lamborghini can also turn into a motorcycle. As she spoke, she raised her wrist, pointed to a jade bracelet that was all emerald green, and asked proudly, isn't this jade bracelet beautiful? Chen Feng took a look over. This is a string of transparent violet jadeite with a bright luster, exquisite beauty, and is one of the best jadeite bracelets. It looks good. Chen Feng asked curiously, Aunt, is this the jade you cut out of the rough material? I guess so, but I didn't open it myself. Zhang Yuyan smiled and explained, I met a man who opened an icy jadeite at a gambling venue in Hangzhou last year. I liked it and bought it from him. From her sparkling eyes, Chen Feng could tell that his aunt liked jade very much. And she has a gentle appearance, so it is indeed very suitable for her to wear jade. Although jade is beautiful, the chance of finding a top-quality jade is slim. Dragonstone is the best jade among all jades, and the chance of finding one is like winning the lottery jackpot. Chen Feng looked around the venue and said confidently, Aunt, you like jadeite, I will open a bunch of them for you today. Xiao Feng, are you trying to make your aunt happy? Zhang Yuyan almost couldn't close her mouth with laughter. The tone of Chen Feng's voice was as simple as spending a few dollars to pick out a few vegetables at the vegetable market. Little do people know that it is not easy to get jadeite, even the lowest quality jadeite, from a pile of rough materials. Aunt, as long as you like it, there is nothing I can't do. What about the God of Cooking contest? Have you agreed to participate as well? Zhang Yuyan's face was filled with excitement. Well. Chen Feng pretended to hesitate. Aunt, please give me some more time to think about it. As he was speaking, Chen Feng noticed that in the center of the venue, a beautiful woman wearing gold and silver was surrounded by people. I guess I didn't check the almanac before going out. Otherwise, how could my luck be so bad? In just 2 hours, she has already spent tens of millions just on buying raw materials, right? Rich woman, please support me. You don't have to take the medicine, I will. The beautiful woman cursed while spending several million to buy a bunch of raw materials. Chen Feng used his X-ray eyes to see and found that it was another pile of waste. Although there were jades the size of a fingernail, their quality was not even average. No way, it's so miserable. Zhang Yuyan shook her head sympathetically. Sure enough, God is fair. If he gives a woman a pretty face, he won't give her explosive luck. Hearing the sadness in her tone, Chen Feng thought that Zhang Yuyan was recalling some painful memories. Just wanted to comfort. Unexpectedly, the next second, she held her cheek and admired herself. Hey, it's rare to see a beautiful woman like me who is often blessed by God. She looked at Chen Feng and asked childishly, Are you right, Xiao Feng Feng? Well, auntie, you are the most beautiful. The flattery is right in front of you, so you have to flatter it. Hey, husband, trust me for the last time and transfer 10 million to my card. I promise this is definitely the last time. If you still can't find the jade, I will divorce you. The beautiful woman shouted harshly. The onlookers looked at her with surprise. Anyone who can bring up divorce as a condition is definitely not an ordinary person. Thank you, husband. I love you so much, Trojan. After receiving the money, the beautiful woman immediately started to choose the wool material she liked with a smile on her face. Zhang Yuyan sighed. Xiao Feng Feng, if she still can't get the jade this time, do you think her husband will really divorce her? Chen Feng looked at Zhang Yuyan. Aunt, why do I feel that your expression means that you hope she will get a divorce? Marriage is a woman's grave. Look at me. I have been a soloist for 36 years. Am I not living a colorful life? Zhang Yuyan looked at the beautiful woman's back with a dim look in her eyes, but I still hope she can be happy. Aunt, I can help her. You? Zhang Yuyan looked doubtful. How are you going to help her? A mysterious smile appeared on Chen Feng's lips. He and Zhang Yuyan walked up to the beautiful woman, who was picking out a pile of woolen materials. Chen Feng looked at the small handbag Zhang Yuyan was carrying. Aunt, you must be tired of carrying the bag. Let me help you. Okay, Xiao Feng Feng, you are so sensible. You didn't tell me earlier. My hands have been sore for a long time. Zhang Yuyan handed the bag to Chen Feng without hesitation. Chen Feng took the bag with a smile and bumped his elbow into the beautiful woman's back. The corner of the bag hit one of the palm-sized pieces of wool and fell to the ground with a bang. Sorry. Chen Feng apologized to the beautiful woman in a low voice and turned to leave. The staff nearby stopped him in time and said, Hey, young man, you knocked the rough material off, so it belongs to you and you must buy it. Chen Feng lowered his head and stammered, I didn't mean it, and I can't afford it. Why are you here if you can't afford it? If you want to eat melon, go to the fruit stand next to you. The staff member immediately got angry. Zhang Yuyan stood up and said, Why are you yelling so loudly? Can you afford to compensate me for scaring my nephew and son-in-law? He was the one who knocked it off, so he still has to pay for it. The staff member's tone suddenly became timid, but his attitude remained firm. Zhang Yuyan took out her card. How much is it? I'll buy it. Just as she was about to buy, the beautiful woman glanced at Chen Feng, stepped forward and said, Let me pay. I am also responsible for this matter. What was knocked off was just the most inconspicuous piece of rough material in the venue, with a bumpy surface, and no one would even look at it if it was thrown on the street. The price is not expensive, only 30,000 yuan. The beautiful woman paid readily. Hey, beauty, this is what you bought. Aren't you going to take it away? Zhang Yuyan asked curiously. The beautiful woman glanced at it with disdain. Don't want it, it looks like a piece of waste, just throw it away. Don't judge a book by its cover, and the same goes for rough materials. What if there's the jade you want in it? Chen Feng looked at her with a smile. The beautiful woman and Chen Feng looked at each other. When she spoke again, her voice was trembling. Since this handsome boy said so, I'll take it and open it together. Sorry guys, I've been seeing a doctor lately, taking various final exams, and my boyfriend is worried about work so I have to accompany him, so I can't keep up with the updates. I'll be back in the next few days and will update more often. Sorry. Chapter 43, Soft-mouthed people are more adorable. The beautiful woman brought a pile of raw materials to the venue to find a professional cutter to cut them. After a while, screams of amazement broke out in the venue. Fuck, Imperial Green. What a big piece. This is the manifestation of 8 generations of ancestors at the same time. It's probably worth tens of millions. Chen Feng and Zhang Yuyan stepped forward. The beautiful woman burst into tears while holding a piece of imperial green jadeite as big as a quail egg. Under the light, the emerald is translucent green. Pure green, glowing green. Wow, what a beautiful jadeite. Zhang Yuyan wanted to glue her eyes to the jadeite. Imperial green, this is the best, beauty, you are so lucky. It turns out that good-looking people don't have bad luck. After hearing this, Chen Feng couldn't help but twitch his lips, thinking to himself, Aunt, that's not what you just said. The beautiful woman's makeup was completely ruined by her tears. She looked at Chen Feng excitedly, stretched out her arms, and hugged Chen Feng tightly in her arms. Thank you, handsome boy. Thank you for letting me get the imperial green. You are my lucky star. She let go of Chen Feng, wiped her tears, and said seriously, You are right, you can't judge a person by his appearance. I never thought that an ordinary piece of raw material could produce imperial green. I really learned a lesson. Oh, yes. The beautiful woman took out a bank card from her bag and handed it to Chen Feng. There is 1 million in this card, you must accept it. I can't refuse such a kind invitation. I'll accept it. Chen Feng took the bank card without hesitation. The people nearby immediately gathered around. Handsome guy, help me choose some woolen materials. I want emerald, the greener the better. My wife went to get her hair done and said she wanted to dye it green. What do you guys think? Zhang Yuyan couldn't bear it anymore. Hey, what are you guys doing surrounding my nephew's son-in-law? She pulled Chen Feng out of the crowd and said enviously, that piece of imperial green would definitely be stunning if it was made into jewelry. What a pity tilder. Chen Feng smiled and said, Aunt, if you like it, I'll open one and give it to you. With 1 million, you can choose a lot of raw materials. Although imperial green jadeite is rare, it is not difficult for Chen Feng to pick out a piece from the huge venue. TSK. Su Xinyue's voice sounded behind him, why is there a cow flying in the sky? Zhang Yuyan smiled and took Su Xinyue's hand, and asked curiously, where's baby Yang Yang? Why didn't she come with you? My fourth sister went abroad to attend an art exhibition. Su Xinyu glanced at Chen Feng and said, Aunt, why did you bring Chen Feng to a place like this? He doesn't understand these things. Zhang Yuyan smiled and said, who said Xiao Feng doesn't understand? He just helped someone open a piece of top-quality imperial green jadeite the size of a quail egg. Aunt, you don't have to speak for Chen Feng. Su Xinyu crossed her arms and scanned the venue. If he can find out the jadeite, I will swallow it right there. Chen Feng put his arm around Su Xinyue's shoulders and whispered in her ear distressledly, Yeah, you will suffer retribution tonight for not trusting your fiancé's ability tilder. Don't touch me in public. Su Xinyu dodged with a red face. Noticing that Chen Feng's eyes were always on her face, she said coquettishly, Why are you staring at me? Chen Feng glanced at Su Xinyu and then at Zhang Yuyan. Then she said seriously, Yeah, your makeup today is too heavy. It doesn't look as good as your aunt's light makeup. Su Xinyu followed Chen Feng's gaze and looked at Zhang Yuyan. Chen Feng, are you sure my makeup today is too heavy? I only put on lipstick today and didn't even put on eyeshadow. And then look at Zhang Yuyan's makeup. Except for lipstick, she put on all the other parts of her face that needed makeup, especially the eyeshadow, which was applied very delicately, and even false eyelashes were used. As a result, in Chen Feng's eyes, Zhang Yuyan was just wearing light makeup. Har, I secretly ate a steamed bun for Xiao Feng on their way here and forgot to put on my lipstick. Zhang Yuyan immediately took out a small mirror and started to put on her lipstick. Abusing your wife feels good for a while. Chasing wife to crematorium. Chen Feng immediately stepped forward to comfort her. Yeah, Su baby tilder, are you angry? HMPH. Su Xinyu snorted coldly and turned her face away. Don't be angry, you misunderstood what I meant. Chen Feng put his hand on Su Xinyue's shoulder and entangled a strand of hair with his fingers. What I meant is that you look better without makeup than with it. Chen Feng. Su Xinyu became even angrier. Normally she spends 1 or 2 hours putting on makeup, but in Chen Feng's eyes, she doesn't look as good as without makeup. Yeah, what I mean is that you look better with makeup than your aunt without makeup. Aunt! Su Shinyu threw herself into Zhang Yuyan's arms, 2 lines of tears almost falling. This Chen Feng is such a bastard. He only knows how to bully me all day long and can't even coax a girl. What's the point of having a fiancé like this? Alright, little darling, don't be angry. The young couple quarreled at the head of the bed and made up at the foot of the bed. Auntie can see that Xiao Feng still loves you very much. In order to cheer Su Shinyu up, Zhang Yuyan said with a smile, "It just so happens that my aunt is in a good mood today, so let's play a game." Su Shinyu raised her head and asked curiously, "Aunt, what game are you playing?" "You and Xiao Feng go and pick out the rough material. As long as you can get jadeite, if you get 1 piece, your aunt will give you a villa. If you get 2 pieces, your aunt will give you a sports car." Chen Feng chuckled, "Aunt, I'm afraid you will have to spend money today." Su Shinyu thought Chen Feng was just pretending to be cool again, so she said to Zhang Yuyan, "Aunt, I don't want to team up with him. Can we each choose our own?" "Well, I'll leave the decision to Xiao Feng. Zhang Yuyan winked at Chen Feng. Ahem. Chen Feng coughed and looked Su Shinyu up and down, staring at her until she felt uncomfortable all over. Yeah, if you don't team up with me, you will regret it. Whoever regrets is a puppy." Chen Feng sighed softly. "The country is so beautiful, but my fiancé is so arrogant. This is not good, not good. Yeah, since you don't want to team up with me, if I open 1 piece of jade, you say I love you, and if I open 2 pieces, you kiss me. Shameless." Su Shinyu cursed in her heart. But thinking that Chen Feng would definitely not be able to open a jadeite, she agreed without hesitation, "Okay." Seeing Su Shinyu's smug smile, Chen Feng couldn't help but remind her, yeah, between the two of us, I'll just be in charge of the hard part. Your mouth should be softer and cuter tilder. You? Su Shinyu's face suddenly turned red. This bastard is so dishonest all day long. You've negotiated terms with me, so I want to negotiate terms with you too. Looking at his fiancée's lovely appearance, Chen Feng nodded and agreed, "Just ask. I can't just let this shameless Chen Feng take advantage of me." Su Shinyu decided to retaliate and fight back. "If I open 1 jade, you must say I love you. If I open 2, you must kiss me." "Okay, no problem." Chen Feng agreed immediately. No, what did I just say?" Su Shinyu immediately regretted, "I was wrong, I take back what I said." Chen Feng immediately imitated what Su Shinyu had just said, "Whoever regrets is a puppy tilder." Woof woof. Su Shinyu silently imitated the barking of a puppy twice in her heart, then walked aside in annoyance to select woolen materials. Chapter 44, This time it's a real trick. Chen Feng curled his lips and began to select the wool material he liked. Once his X-ray eyes were turned on, he could see clearly whether there was jade in the rough material. Soon, he picked out 5 pieces. This was also Su Shinyu's first time gambling on stones. However, thanks to her extremely good looks, she is already surrounded by enthusiastic men who offer her advice and suggestions. Among them are some who have been passionate about gambling on stones for decades, as well as senior scholars in this field. After more than half an hour, Su Shinyu had finally selected the raw material she liked. The next step is to cut the gambling stone on site. Let's cut this piece first. Chen Feng picked out one of the rough pieces and handed it to the cutting master. "Master, please be gentle when you do it. Don't damage the jade inside." "Don't worry, young man. You weren't even born when I was doing this." The cutting master picked up the rough material, took a look at it, and used professional equipment to illuminate and analyze the interior of the raw stone. Then he began to carefully slice the raw stone. Har, young man, I can tell you now with regret that you can't get jade from this. That may not be the case. Maybe it can even produce top-quality jadeite," Chen Feng said deliberately. The area was filled with onlookers, all craning their necks and staring with wide eyes in curiosity. "One knife makes you poor, 1 knife makes you rich, and 1 knife makes you wear linen. Crazy people buy, crazy people sell, and crazy people are waiting. This is the most realistic portrayal of gambling on stones." Soon, a piece of raw stone was completely cut. The cutting master laughed, Har, I told you long ago that there is no jade in here, but you still don't believe it." Chen Feng laughed along, "Master, you have a unique vision. Professionalism is different. I admire you. Su Shenyu glanced at Chen Feng. She couldn't wait to hand over the woolen material she had selected. Master, then take a look at mine. Oh, little girl, the piece you chose is not ordinary. There is probably jade in it, and it is top quality jade. The cutting master praised excitedly. Su Shenyue's eye smiled into a crescent moon. Master, then you can start now. The cutting master nodded and started cutting the raw stone immediately. After 3 slashes, a hint of icy blue suddenly appeared. When all the cutting is completed, what comes out is a piece of jade the size of a fingernail. The whole body is transparent and clear like ice. Although it is only the most common type of blue flower ice, jadeite of this size can be sold for around 3,000 to 4,000 yuan in the market. Fuck, this beauty has good eyesight. I helped her choose this one, and she promised to be my wife if I could get the jade. Brother, are you daydreaming? Isn't this Su Bingyu, the top anchor of Shark Live? Did she turn on face slimming during the live broadcast? Su Shenyu proudly held the jadeite she had opened and looked at Zhang Yuyan. Aunt, look, I opened a jadeite. Zhang Yuyan hugged Su Shenyu and said, you are worthy of being my little yaya. Tell me which villa you like and I will buy it for you right away. Then I'll have to think about it carefully when I get back. Being held by Zhang Yuyan, Su Shenyu was facing Chen Feng. In a pair of eyes as bright as stars, there is an unconcealable pride. Chen Feng stepped forward, leaned close to her ear, and whispered, yeah, I love you. Zhang Yuyan immediately let go of Su Shenyu and pushed her into Chen Feng's arms. Wow, Xiao Feng, is it really okay for you to show your affection in front of your aunt, who has been a soloist for more than 30 years? Su Shenyu clenched her pink fist and punched Chen Feng in the chest. It didn't hurt or itch, just like being gently scratched by a kitten's claws. Chen Feng, this is a public place, why are you saying such things? Chen Feng's smile became even more wanton. Didn't you say that if you open the jade, I would say I love you? I am willing to accept the loss. Su Shenyu blushed and dodged. But it is true. The two began to cut the second piece of rough stone. This time, Chen Feng also failed to get out jadeite, but Su Shenyu continued to be lucky and got out oily green jadeite worth tens of thousands of yuan. Oh! I've said it before, good-looking people will never have bad luck, especially my little yaya, who is stunningly beautiful tilde. Zhang Yuyan excitedly kissed Su Shenyu on the face. If you have a favorite sports car, tell me and I will buy it for you. Thank you, auntie. In fact, Su Shenyu doesn't really care about villas and sports cars, she can buy them herself. Being able to defeat Chen Feng is what makes her happiest. Aunt, am I good enough? Su Shenyu deliberately asked Zhang Yuyan in front of Chen Feng. Zhang Yuyan smiled and replied, whether you are powerful or not, you should ask Xiao Feng. I, your aunt, don't know tilde. Aunt, I suspect you were driving, but I have no evidence. Chen Feng said lovingly, yeah, you are so amazing. Why do I feel that some people's compliments are not sincere enough? Su Shenyu snorted coldly. Don't move, there's dirt on your face. Chen Feng suddenly moved closer. Su Shenyu raised her hand and touched her face. Last time it was rice grains, this time it's bread crumbs. As soon as the words fell. Boo tilde. A kiss fell on her cheek. The force is neither light nor heavy. She was caught off guard when it fell and she didn't have time to feel it. But when Chen Feng's mouth left her, she was anxious to find it and savor it. No, what just happened? Chen Feng, this bastard. He actually kissed her in front of everyone, before she could react? You never thought it would work, right? This time it's a real trick tilde. Chen Feng's face showed a smug expression after succeeding. When Su Shenyu saw this shameless smile, she almost wanted to punch him. Chen Feng, you are shameless. Chen Feng expressed his grievance. You said it yourself, you opened the jade and asked me to kiss you. But I didn't ask you to kiss me in front of so many people. Su Shenyue's beautiful eyes widened. Yeah, don't stare at me like that, or I'll think you're unsatisfied with my sexual desires tilde. Since he had been called shameless by his fiancée more than once, Chen Feng might as well continue to be shameless. Oh, woof, woof. Zhang Yuyan hid in the corner and cried violently, covering her mouth, but still made a miserable dog bark. Let us wait and see. Su Shenyu took out the third piece of raw material. Unfortunately, she didn't get any jade this time. When it was Chen Feng's turn, the cutting master frowned at first, and then began to cut the raw stone with an unprecedented serious attitude. One cut and a touch of green. The onlookers were excited. This color, is it another piece of imperial green? No way, if it were true I would eat shit live. Tell me the live broadcast room number, I'll follow it in advance. It's low-grade jade at best. The cutting master became more and more excited, and his movements became more and more cautious. Wait until all the jade in the raw stone is cut out. Everyone was dumbfounded. Oh shit! Another piece of imperial green. Chapter 45, My aunt was tricked too. What a unique green. The green is flowing and the green is rippling. It's so green that it even makes people want to go off track. Such a pure green color, worthy of being the top-grade imperial green jadeite. This color is greener than the hat on my head. His handsome man has good luck, but are you going to let the other brothers live? Zhang Yuyan's eyes almost glued to the jade. Wow, what a beautiful jade. She stretched out her fair wrist and blinked her starry eyes, already imagining the jade bracelet worn on her wrist. Xiao Feng, tell me which villa you like and I will buy it for you right away. Chen Feng smiled and said, thank you, auntie. I'll tell you when I find a villa. Why don't you buy it together with your little darling Yaya? Zhang Yuyan smiled meaningfully, you two can live in the same villa. It would be best if there is only one room in the villa. You two can enjoy it together. Chen Feng's mouth twitched. Su Xinyue's pretty face flushed. Aunt, what are you talking about? What my aunt meant is love and affection. Love and affection tilde. Zhang Yuyan immediately changed her words. Chen Feng nodded. I will follow my aunt's arrangements. Aunt, I don't want to live with Chen Feng. Su Xinyu leaned close to Zhang Yuyan's ear and whispered, tell me which villa Chen Feng chooses. I will definitely not choose the same neighborhood as him. Zhang Yuyan nodded, don't worry, auntie understands. Chen Feng pretended not to hear Su Xinyu and Zhang Yuyan's whispers. He walked to Su Xinyu and said with a smile, yeah, do you have anything to say to me? What? Su Xinyu was curious. Someone just promised that if I open a piece of jade, he would say something. Chen Feng raised his eyebrows handsomely. Yes, my aunt can testify. Zhang Yuyan nodded, with an expression of enjoying the show on her face. Su Xinyu felt like crying but had no tears. Once words are spoken, they are like water spilled. It is obviously impossible to take them back. Her face was red, and under Chen Feng's gaze, she reluctantly said in a mosquito-like voice, I love you. Well, yeah, what did you just say? Chen Feng pretended not to hear. I love you. Su Xinyu raised her voice a little more. Chen Feng still pretended not to hear. What, you want to play by Qi? I said I love you, did you hear me? Su Xinyue's voice suddenly increased. Before she could finish her words, she suddenly realized that everyone in the venue was staring at her. Brush. Suddenly, her already flushed face turned red like a crayfish in a frying pan, and the temperature on her face soared. I love you too, yeah. Looking at the shameless smile on Chen Feng's face, Su Xinyu covered her face and quickly picked up the next rough stone. Master, please help me see if there is any jade in it. Zhang Yuyan giggled. Little Yaya is actually shy, it shows that she really likes you. Chen Feng disagreed. Aunt, does a girl being shy mean she likes someone? Zhang Yuyan nodded. Yes, look at her shy look, her cheeks are red. When have you ever seen her do this to another man? It seems not. Chen Feng still had some concerns, but I think she might be blushing because she is angry. You are silly. Being angry and being shy are two completely different states. Women understand women best. Trust your aunt. You won't be wrong. Chen Feng asked curiously, Aunt, I think what you said makes sense, but it's not completely correct. For example, if you say I love you to me, you might blush, but it's not because you like me. Aunt, I'm already old, how could I still blush? Zhang Yuyan obviously didn't believe it. Chen Feng said seriously, Aunt, if you don't believe it, you can try it. Xiao Feng, I like you. Rub. As soon as Zhang Yuyan said this, she felt her cheeks quickly turn red as if they were on fire. Although I couldn't see whether her face turned red, I could clearly feel from my intuition that she was blushing. Zhang Yuyan held her face in her hands, unable to believe it. Xiao Feng, am I blushing? No. Chen Feng shook his head. Zhang Yuyan breathed a sigh of relief, that's good. Zhang Yuyan coughed, and to ease the embarrassment, she immediately walked to Su Xinyue's side. Yeah, my dear, did you find the jade? Su Xinyu shook her head. It's normal that you can't get out. Just now, before you came, someone drove away on a motorcycle. Su Xinyu asked curiously, Aunt, what does this have to do with not being able to open the jade? That guy came here in a Lamborghini before. Puff. Su Xinyu was amused. But the smile didn't last on her face for 2 seconds. She glanced at Chen Feng beside her and tears almost burst out of her eyes. Chen Feng, this bastard. Surprisingly. Once again. A piece of top-quality jade was found. Although it is not the finest imperial green among jadeite, it is also worth tens of millions, with pure color, and it is absolutely beautiful when used to make jewelry. Zhang Yuyan said generously, Xiao Feng Feng, Auntie will take you to pick a sports car in a while. Thank you, Auntie. Chen Feng looked at Su Xinyu, who looked aggrieved. Yeah, have you noticed anything dirty on my face? This time, Su Xinyu already understood what Chen Feng meant without him saying anything. According to the conditions just now, if Chen Feng opens 2 pieces of jade, Su Xinyu will kiss him. Boo Tilder. She closed her eyes, with a fearless expression, and stood on tiptoe to kiss Chen Feng on the face. We will kiss each other sooner or later, so it's better to do it sooner. Bang bang bang. There was a burst of warm applause at the scene. This guy is really a winner in life. This luck is definitely cheating. The following scenes will not be shown, just because I am not a member. Zhang Yuyan's eyes were filled with joy as she watched. She covered her mouth and almost cried out like a single dog. What sin have I committed to pay for the villa and the sports car, and I have to watch you abuse the dog here? I really deserve it. After kissing Chen Feng, Su Xinyu looked at the last piece of raw material left in her hand and took it to cut. Chen Feng took his time, picked up the rough material and asked Su Xinyu, Yeah, guess, can I still get jadeite this time? You were lucky the last 2 times. Su Xinyu was not convinced. Then guess, is there anything in here? Su Xinyu answered without hesitation, no. Chen Feng chuckled, then let's make another bet. If there is jade in it, you have to bring me along for the live broadcast tonight. Okay. This condition is not difficult. Su Xinyu asked, what if it's not here? If not? Chen Feng raised his mouth, I will let you bully me tonight Tilder. Chapter 46, Humble Master Son. Bully. These 2 words became extremely ambiguous when they came out of Chen Feng's mouth. But when Su Xinyu heard it, she immediately thought of 108 ways to bully someone in the middle of the night, tying up, dripping wax, walking on a mountain of knives, immersing in an oil pot. Okay. Su Xinyu nodded. Tonight he will let that bastard Chen Feng know how powerful she is. The first step was to tie him up with chains and secure him to the bed. Then he took out 10 candles as thick as his arms, lit them and tilted them at a 45-degree angle, letting the hot candle wax slowly fall on his naked skin, watching as it burned small bubbles. Then, I used a vibrating, electric drill to pry open Chen Feng's mouth and dig out his teeth one by one. I'll see if he dares to be so vicious in the future. Just as he was thinking smugly, the crowd of onlookers burst into screams. Damn, another piece of imperial green. 3 pieces of imperial green were produced in a row. Today's batch of raw materials is good. Young man, how many times have you been cheated on to have such affinity with green? Please cuckold me, come cuckold me. Su Xinyu blushed and stopped fantasizing. When she saw that the rough material selected by Chen Feng had actually turned out to be a piece of top-grade imperial green jadeite, her face instantly turned the color of liver. Chen Feng, are you cheating? Chen Feng curled his lips, I can calculate. Can this be calculated? Su Xinyu obviously didn't believe it. Chen Feng glanced at Su Xinyue's chest and said, not only can I calculate whether there is jade in the raw material, I can also calculate the color of the underwear you are wearing today. So what color am I wearing today? Black. Chen Feng added in a low voice, lace. Su Xinyu gritted her teeth and said, you are shameless. This bastard actually guessed it right. He must have peeked at himself while he was changing his clothes. Zhang Yuyan came up curiously and said, Xiao Feng Feng, guess what my aunt said? If you guess correctly, I will give you double the prize. Wine red, 36D. Zhang Yuyan's eyes widened in surprise. Xiao Feng Feng, you are so amazing, you are absolutely right. Chen Feng smiled but said nothing. He really didn't rely on his X-ray vision to see Zhang Yuyan. But last night she was sleeping in bed wrapped in pajamas and he accidentally saw her. Xiao Feng, since you have found the jadeite and guessed the color of my aunt's underwear correctly, I have decided to give you a double prize. This prize is. Zhang Yuyan paused deliberately, and then said proudly, Auntie will cook for you a sumptuous dinner tonight. Chen Feng smiled and said, Aunt, just leave the cooking to me. Your delicate hands shouldn't be exposed to too much water. I am happy to cook for you. Zhang Yuyan continued firmly, as for the second big prize, I will tell you in the evening. As soon as the words fell, an old man in his 60s wearing a Zhongshan suit came forward and said to Chen Feng, Young man, I think your jadeite is pretty good. Would you be willing to give it to me so that I can process it? Before Chen Feng could speak, Zhang Yuyan called out in surprise, Master Sun, you are here too. Sun Zhong smiled and nodded, Yes, it is me, Miss Zhang, we meet again. Zhang Yuyan introduced her to Chen Feng. Xiao Feng, Master Sun is a famous jade carving master. The works he carved are exquisite works of art. Many wealthy businessmen asked Master Sun to carve jade for them with high prices of hundreds of millions of yuan, but he refused them all. Sun Zhong smiled and waved his hands, Miss Zhang, look at how you brag, you're almost making me into a god. Master Sun is being modest again. Zhang Yuyan leaned close to Chen Feng's ear and whispered, Master Sun is like this. He doesn't like people praising him. When I met him last year, I asked him why. Guess what he answered? Chen Feng asked with a smile, How do you answer? Ahem. Zhang Yuyan coughed and deliberately raised her voice, saying loudly, Some people just don't like others to praise them, because they are always afraid that others don't praise them enough. Zhang Yuyan looked at Sun Zhong, Don't you agree, Master Sun? Sun Zhong smiled dotingly, Miss Zhang, you are naughty again. You are already in your 30s and almost 40, why are you still acting like a 17 or 18-year-old girl? Zhang Yuyan's face darkened, Master Sun has hugged more girls than I have eaten salt. It is natural for you to despise a 30-something like me. You? Sun Zhong was speechless. Zhang Yuyan crossed her arms across her chest and raised her eyebrows. Come on, let us hurt each other. The two of them stared at each other with eyes flashing with lightning. Chen Feng smiled and broke the deadlock, Master Sun, I have 3 pieces of jade here. These 2 are imperial green. Although this one is not as precious as the imperial green, it is also a top-grade jade. Zhang Yuyan smiled and said, Master Sun, just so that your jadeite is good, so he stepped forward and offered to help you process it. He is an old fox and knows how to pick. Chen Feng expressed his idea, I want to use these 3 pieces of jade, please help me make 7 rings, Master Sunday. 7. Sun Zhong looked at Chen Feng with suspicion, Young man, why do you need so many rings? Chen Feng thought that his mother-in-law was very productive, and she also maintained quality while being productive, so he couldn't be without any of his 7 rings. Master Sun, are you the sea? Why do you care so much? Zhang Yuyan joked, Oh, now I remember that you were indeed a sea king when you were young. Sun Zhong was so anxious that he kept coughing, Ms. Zhang, in front of so many people, can't you give me some face? Chen Feng smiled and continued, For the remaining scraps, I would like to trouble Master Sun to make 2 more pairs of earrings for me. 7 rings, 2 pairs of earrings. Sun Zhong began to estimate while comparing the jadeite, it's possible, but this. He raised his thumb and index finger, and rubbed the 2 fingers together twice. Chen Feng understood, Master Sun, the processing fee is negotiable. Zhang Yuyan immediately stepped forward and stood in front of Sun Zhong, What processing fee? Xiao Feng, Master Sun is giving you a thumbs up. Hey, I. Zhang Yuyan whispered, You've always wanted to eat the spicy hot pot I make, right? I'll make it for you, and you don't have to ask the kid for the processing fee. Sun Zhong swallowed and nodded, Okay. He looked at Chen Feng and said seriously, Young man, don't worry, I will definitely make the ring and earrings very beautiful for you. When they are done, I will send them to you. Master Sun, tell me where you live and I will pick it up myself when the time comes. Sun Zhong waved his hand, No need to go through so much trouble, I'll send it to you directly by express delivery, but you still have to pay for the postage by yourself, cash on delivery. Okay. Chen Feng nodded with a smile. Sun Zhong happily left with the jadeite, and the onlookers swarmed around him. Handsome guy, let me touch your hand. I want to try your luck. I'll give you 1 million, and you can help me pick out some raw materials. I want to reserve one of the rings. Sell it to me when the time comes. The price is negotiable. Chapter 47. I'm always the one who gets hurt. Seeing that so many people wanted to shake hands with him, Chen Feng simply sat down near the entrance of the venue and set up a small stall. There is a small sign on the side with the following words written on it. Jadeite will be given out when you shake hands, 10,000 each time, the price is fair, no cheating. In less than half an hour, people came one after another to shake hands with Chen Feng, and he gave rave reviews. It really works. After shaking hands, I went to buy 100 pieces of rough material. When I bought the 99th piece, I really found jadeite. I just called my wife and she was panting and said she was on the treadmill and it was too tiring. I have to get a piece of jade to reward her. I'll come over and give a good review so more people will be fooled. Sushin Yu helped manage Chen Feng's Alipay account. Seeing the money continuously transferred into Alipay, from a few hundred yuan at the beginning to more than 1 million yuan now, she couldn't feel happy at all. In just half an hour, Chen Feng had already shaken hands with so many strangers, men and women. Especially some women who came up to shake hands with Chen Feng, each of them thought he was handsome, and they held onto his hands tightly and refused to let go. Of course, there were also some greasy middle-aged men who looked at Chen Feng with the same eyes as a beast seeing its fat prey. Handsome boy, I just transferred 100,000 yuan to you. Can you tell me your WeChat? A woman with grey hair and jewels came forward and asked. Before Chen Feng could answer, Sushin Yu was already unhappy. This girl called Sister Li looks to be at least 50 or 60 years old, but she is actually interested in a young hunk like Chen Feng. Didn't he Sister Li just transfer 100,000 yuan? She, Sushin Yu, has plenty of money. 1 million received in Alipay. A beautiful system prompt sound rang out. She held her phone and said to Sister Li and the people waiting in line to shake hands with Chen Feng, sorry, he's already been contracted by me. Sister Li looked Sushin Yu up and down. He took out a property certificate from his bag proudly. This is the house I just bought in Saichen Ipin. What's your name, handsome boy? I'll write your name on it right away. Sushin Yu was stunned. She didn't expect Sister Li to even take out the property certificate. She really couldn't understand where this bastard Chen Feng got such charm. Yeah, this is for you. Zhang Yuyan quietly handed Sushin Yu a small red notebook from behind. Sushin Yu took a look. It turned out to be a marriage certificate. There is a photo of her and Chen Feng above, with an official seal on the photo, and the Mishua Bingcheng logo on the cover of the certificate. The milk tea shop next door is having a promotion, so I got one for you. No need to thank me. Zhang Yuyan blinked proudly. Sushin Yu gave him a grateful look. She held up her marriage certificate and said to Sister Li, he and I have already obtained the marriage certificate. I have a house and a car, and I usually live broadcast to support him. Sister Li took a look at the marriage certificate. Suddenly, her face turned pale and she quickly swallowed 2 pills. Then, with shaking hands, she picked up the critical illness notice and said to Chen Feng, handsome boy, I'm going to be honest. I'm actually in the late stage of cancer. The doctor said I can only live for a week at most. Is this even possible? Everyone around was stunned. Sister Li had tears in her eyes. Be my boyfriend for a week, and all my inheritance will be yours. Afraid that Chen Feng might have concerns, she added, don't worry, I have no ex-boyfriends on the internet, and I won't admit it if I do. Both my parents are dead, and I have no children. All my relatives have been severed, so there won't be any disputes over inheritance. After saying that, Sister Li glanced at Sushin Yu proudly. Sushin Yu clenched her fists. This Sister Li is too cruel. She even took out the critical illness notice. The older you get, the wiser you become. When Sister Li can't pretend, she decides to compare her misery. In this respect, she can only feel ashamed of herself. At this moment, Zhang Yuyan suddenly covered her stomach and cried out. My stomach suddenly hurts. Chen Feng immediately asked with concern, Aunt, what's wrong with you? Zhang Yuyan took the opportunity to lean on Chen Feng and deliberately looked at Sister Li. I think I'm having a miscarriage, you're. Chen Feng understood. He knew that it was his aunt who was helping him out. However, this way of resolving the situation is too shocking. Just bear with it for a moment, I'll take you to the hospital right away. For the sake of our child, hold on. Chen Feng said as he took Zhang Yuyan away from the gambling stone venue. Click. Watching the three people leaving, Sister Li silently put away the forged critical illness notice. She exclaimed in admiration, feeling inferior to him, as expected. You are the little darling that I fell in love with at first sight, handsome boy, you are quite something. Su's house. Har ha har ha. Su Xinyao rolled on the sofa with laughter after hearing about the bizarre experience of Chen Feng and the other two at the gambling stone venue during the day. Su Xinyu came out of the kitchen carrying a bowl of food. Stop laughing, go wash your hands and get ready to eat. Okay. Su Xinyao stood up quickly and took a look at the dishes that had just been served. Wow, it looks pretty good. Tonight's dishes are all made by my aunt. This is the first time we've eaten her cooking. Even if it doesn't taste good, we have to show it. Su Xinyu reminded in a low voice, Seventh sister, do you understand what I mean? Yes, I understand. Su Xinyao agreed repeatedly. Soon, all the food was served on the table. After Chen Feng and others sat down, Zhang Yuyan, wearing an apron, stood proudly beside the table and began to introduce themselves. Xiao Feng Feng, this is the sweet and sour pork tenderloin that I made especially for you. It also has a nice name, stop the car and sit in the maple forest at night. This dish is called Jiang Feng Yu Hua Dui Sorrow Sleeping. This is the autumn breeze of maple leaves and reeds. This is. Su Xinyao widened her eyes in surprise. Aunt, when did you become so cultured? How about it, aren't these dish names nice? Zhang Yiyan blinked proudly, and this one, acacia maple leaf dan, is the dessert I specially prepared for Xiao Feng Feng, rambutan. Su Xinyao pouted and asked aggrievedly, Aunt, why do all these dishes have the word maple in their names? Aren't there any dishes prepared for me and my fifth sister? Good question. Zhang Yuyan handed 2 bowls of white rice to Su Xinyu and Su Xinyao respectively. Yeah, my dear, this is the white rice that your aunt cooked especially for you. It's so bright and peachy. And Yao, my most adorable little darling in my aunt's heart, this bowl of soup was carefully prepared for you by my aunt. Su Xinyao was about to burst into tears. Aunt, that word is not pronounced as G, it's pronounced as CAI. Oh, don't worry about these details. Zhang Yuyan scratched her head awkwardly. Su Xinyao picked up her chopsticks and started eating rice, feeling wronged. She wondered why she was always the one who got hurt. Zhang Yuyan handed a bowl to Chen Feng and said with a smile, Xiao Feng Feng, try it quickly. Bite open the meatballs and there will be a surprise inside tilde. Under Zhang Yuyan's meaningful gaze, Chen Feng picked up a meatball and put it into his mouth. After chewing twice, a piece of paper appeared in his mouth. Or a piece of paper torn out of red cardboard. Look at the words above, there's a surprise. Zhang Yuyan urged anxiously. Chapter 48 I am her father. Chen Feng unfolded the note and took a look. Congratulations on winning a spot in the MasterChef contest. How is it, Xiao Feng Feng, it's a big surprise, right? Zhang Yuyan asked expectantly. Chen Feng put away the note and said with a smile, Aunt, thank you for your invitation. It seems that I have to go to this cooking competition. So, you agree to participate in the competition? Yeah. Chen Feng nodded. Su Xinyu was eating white rice on the side and revealed Zhang Yuyan's thoughts. Aunt, you think the dishes cooked by other contestants are unpalatable, so you invited Chen Feng to come, right? Xiao Feng Feng is an excellent cook. I just can't bear to see his talent go to waste. Zhang Yuyan blushed and added softly, but what you said is also one of the reasons. As soon as she heard about the cooking competition, Su Xinyao suddenly felt that the white rice in her hand no longer smelled good. She put down her chopsticks, propped up her chin with one hand, and asked curiously, Aunt, can my fifth sister and I go to watch Brother Xiafeng's game? Sure. Zhang Yuyan immediately pulled out a small stack of tickets for the MasterChef contest from her trouser pocket. Auntie, I have plenty of tickets here. I just used a stack to cover the pot. Chen Feng. Su Xinyu. Su Xinyao. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Su Xinyu started broadcasting on Shark on Time. Tonight she is wearing a black and white maid outfit, and her slender legs wrapped in black stockings reveal a hint of sexiness. The cat ear headband on the head and the snow-white cat tail on the back add a bit of playfulness and cuteness. Dressed like this, just by sitting in front of the computer, she is enough to make the blood pumping and the blood tanks empty for tens of millions of viewers waiting in the live broadcast room. Fuck, baby Sue looks so beautiful today, I love you. How can you talk like that upstairs? My wife is beautiful every day. The host is doing something strange today. Shin-kui, bring me a pack of yushi and 2 rolls of tissue paper when you come back. Su Shin-yu glanced at the fans who had already gone crazy, then looked at Chen Feng who was sitting next to her, but found that he looked calm and didn't even look at her. This bastard, why is he pretending to be serious at this time? There are so many men in the barrage calling their wives, doesn't he feel jealous? Su Shin-yu thought suspiciously, deliberately raised her hand, and pulled the collar a few centimeters below the right shoulder. After waiting for a few seconds and seeing that Chen Feng didn't react, she pulled her collar down a few centimeters. Chen Feng glanced at her, yeah, are you hot? Su Shin-yu pouted and quickly pulled her collar back to its normal position. Chen Feng looked her up and down at her clothes and praised her from the bottom of his heart, yeah, you look very beautiful in this outfit today. Really? Su Shin-yu pretended to be calm, but she was very proud in her heart. She knew that this bastard's seriousness was all fake. Before long, he was deeply conquered by his own beauty. Yes, the same outfit you wore last time when I watched maids in an African TV series. African maids are hardworking, simple, and kind. You, forget it, just don't praise me next time. Su Shin-yu wanted to cry but had no tears. You can't spit out ivory from a dog's mouth. Today is the 3rd anniversary of her live broadcast, so she specially put on a maid outfit to give back to her fans. At the same time, she also set up a special fan lottery session, where fans who ranked first on the list every half hour could participate in the lottery. For this purpose, she created a small lottery program. By clicking on the lottery, people can get corresponding prizes. The prizes include performances, gifts, etc. Anchor, who is the man next to you? It's not your boyfriend, is it? I'm heartbroken. Fuck, this guy is even more handsome than me. Su Shin-yu expected that Chen Feng's appearance would definitely cause quite a stir in the live broadcast room. A group of people were asking about Chen Feng's identity. Su Shin-yu smiled and replied, he is mine. Before he could finish his words, Chen Feng took the initiative to speak, hello, I am Ye's father. Su Shin-yu immediately rolled her eyes at Chen Feng. A father out of thin air. The son of a friend. Chen Feng continued with a smile. The audience in the live broadcast room immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Those who need to confess should continue to do so, and those who need to give gifts should continue to give gifts. Less than 5 minutes after the broadcast started, the popularity of Su Shin-yu's live broadcast room had already jumped to the top of the entire platform and was recommended on the homepage. Thanks to I'm Really Not Cher Biluo's #1 for becoming #1. Within the first half hour, this fan named I'm Really Not Cher Biluo's #1 had already given 1 million gifts and instantly became the #1 in that period. The prize he won was to sing a song. Su Shin-yu glanced at the private message sent by the fan. Brother Bangi just sent me a private message saying that he wants to listen to Jay Cho's Double Lun. Okay, then I will sing Jay Cho's Chrysanthemum Broken for him next. After finding the right music, Su Shin-yu cleared her throat and sang affectionately, the chrysanthemums are withered, the ground is full of wounds, and your smile has turned yellow tilde. When the song ended, the fans in the live broadcast room were mesmerized by it. As expected of my wife, she sings beautifully. I'm the director of the Anorectal Hospital. I've been following you for a long time. When are you free to come to our hospital for a checkup? Xiao Biluo is looking for someone to compete with her on her live stream next door. Let's go and connect with her. Woo woo woo, I want to be #1 too, Su baby, I'll give you a reward when my demolition money arrives. In the next hour, 2 more fans who gave 2.5 million and 3 million gifts respectively received the gifts carefully prepared by Su Shin-yu. A set of photos and original silky, smooth milk. In the last round of lottery, a fan named Chen Shuzhen Shui directly spent 5 million and became the #1 in the period from 11:30 to 12 o'clock. Su Shin-yu glanced at the private message with a hint of surprise in her eyes. Thank you for the gift from brother Chen Shu. He just sent me a private message saying that he will not participate in the lucky draw anymore and wants me to log into his game account to help him draw the lucky draw. It just so happened that Su Shin-yu was also playing the online game, Tanwan Blue Moon, so she directly entered the account of the #1 player and logged into the game. Let us do a 10-draw streak first. Su Shin-yu stared at the computer with full confidence, but when she saw that what appeared were just some ordinary equipment, the light in her eyes dimmed instantly. Although this is not her own game account, the fans who ranked first on the list have rewarded her with 5 million gifts. If she doesn't get a few top-level equipment, she will always feel a little guilty. Another wave of 10 draws. Another wave of 10 draws. Another wave. Still no top-level equipment has been revealed. Su Xinyue's forehead began to sweat anxiously. Chen Feng had also played this game. He smiled and said, yeah, how about letting me try a game? With your luck, just forget it. Su Xinyu snorted disdainfully. Just at this moment. It's 12 o'clock midnight. Does their host choose to sign in immediately? Chapter 49, Anchor, please make way. Chen Feng chose to sign in immediately without hesitation. Sign in successfully. This sign-in reward, become the #1 European god in the entire network, the reward has been issued. Or the system understands me. Act like the coolest and be the realest man. Yeah, just let me take a shot. Chen Feng said to Su Xinyu, if no top-quality equipment is revealed, I will compensate your fan 10 million. Su Xinyue's beautiful eyes widened in surprise. She scolded in a low voice, are you crazy? I didn't get any top-quality equipment in 4 or 5 waves. How could you get one in 1 wave? Trust me. Chen Feng's face was full of confidence. Su Xinyu snorted coldly, I believe you can't come up with 10 million, and I will definitely not help you then. When tens of millions of viewers in the live broadcast room heard Chen Feng's words, their emotions boiled over. Don't show off, or you'll be struck by lightning. Get out of here, I'm only looking at baby Su. Brother Meng, I'm in the bushes in Area 60, someone wants to trick me, I'm so scared, who can save me? The latest version of Tanwan Blue Moon has just been updated. I've tried it for 3 minutes and it feels pretty good. I'm in love with this game now. Draw quickly. The barrage of comments began to swirl across the screen, asking Chen Feng to perform a lucky draw. Su Xinyu had no choice but to give the mouse to him. Chen Feng looked at the computer screen with a smile and clicked on the lottery. Brush, brush, brush. Several dazzling golden lights lit up. Supreme Aegis. Bloody Dragon. The fire-resisting flower-protecting divine ring. Dragon soaring divine fan. In a wave of 10 consecutive draws, 6 top-grade, heaven-defying artifacts were directly drawn. The bloodthirsty dragon is a coveted artifact for many players. In the endorsement advertisement, Jar Jar Hui holds it in his hand, and hitting 999 with 1 sword is not a dream. Awesome, so awesome. If you are my brother, come and chop me. What luck. Those who sell cheats wouldn't dare to design it this way. So baby, I want your friend to help me draw the lottery too. The barrage of comments filled the screen frantically, and everyone asked Chen Feng to help them log into the lottery. A fan named Chen Shu Zui Shuai, who ranked first on the list, was so excited that he gave Su Xinyu another 500,000 yuan worth of gifts. Impossible. Su Xinyu was so surprised that she couldn't close her mouth. Of the 6 top-grade artifacts that just popped up, for what she has always wanted. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this game, but just couldn't win. As a result, Chen Feng only made 10 consecutive draws and actually got all these top-grade artifacts. Awesome is not enough to describe it. This is simply awesome plus. Yeah, thank you. Chen Feng leaned close to Su Xinyue's ear and whispered. Su Xinyu was puzzled, why are you thanking me suddenly? Chen Feng half raised his left hand, flexed his fingers twice, and said with a smile, because my hand just touched your thigh, I was lucky enough to get top-quality equipment. This bastard. No wonder Su Xinyu felt a tingling sensation on her thigh for a few seconds. It turned out that Chen Feng touched her. Since Chen Feng was speaking in a whisper, his voice could not be transmitted to the live broadcast room. The audience watching the live broadcast could only see the intimate scene of him and Su Xinyu whispering to each other. And this gives people more room for association. Should we play scenes that are not suitable for children next? Where's the super administrator? Call the super administrator. Let go of my wife. Damn it. Don't force me to slap you in the middle of the night. Su Xinyu blushed and said to the audience in the live broadcast room, thank you for your company for 3 years. Now I will randomly pick a lucky fan and fulfill his wish. As long as the wish is within a reasonable range, it will be fine tilde. Hit me. Damn it, I've already made it to the top of the list, how come it becomes a random draw? Being my wife, that's not too much to ask, right? Those of you who have money can continue to swipe. I wish you lovers will finally get married. People like me who don't have money can only watch with our own eyes. Sushin Yu started the lottery program in the live broadcast room, and soon, the lucky audience member was randomly selected. Sushin Yu smiled and said, "This ID is Wang Sikong, tell me your wish." Wang Sikong, host, can you please give way? Sushin Yu, Wang Sikong, can you please give way? Sushin Yu's expression became even more suspicious. Is this your wish? Wang Sikong, my wish is, host, please move aside. I want that European emperor to log into my game account and help me draw the lottery. Wasn't he that European emperor just now, Chen Feng? Sushin Yu has been live streaming for 3 years and has gained tens of millions of fans. The people who usually post comments on the screen are all lickers. If you put their diaries together, they could circle the earth 3 times. This was the first time she had ever been told to walk away by someone so bluntly. Wang Sikong, Emperor Europe, don't just look at me and smile. I admit that you are much more handsome than me. Please log into my game account and help me draw the lottery. Chen Feng smiled and said, I'm not the European emperor. Wang Sikong, no, you are the European emperor. The anchor's luck is too bad, you are really awesome. Chen Feng said modestly, this is not my anchor room, I don't have the power to decide. If you want to draw a lottery, you should find an anchor. Wang Sikong, to be honest, although I have been following the anchor for more than 2 years, I am not her fan. There are a lot of anchors with big breasts and no brains on the platform. They all live in beauty. Only you, the European emperor, are real. Sushin Yu. Chen Feng glanced at Sushin Yu and asked with a smile, yeah, do you agree? Before Sushin Yu could answer, the barrage of comments started to appear like crazy. I want to see the European emperor's lucky draw. Hurry up and let the European emperor draw the lottery, or I will unfollow you. Get out, you bunch of fake fans. Emperor OU, please help me draw the lottery later. I'm playing the dress-up little girl game. I've seen a set of clothes recently, but I just can't get it. Sushin Yu felt like crying but had no tears. This group of fans usually wait in the live broadcast room long before she starts broadcasting, and are reluctant to leave when she finishes broadcasting. There are many gifts worth hundreds of thousands or even millions. Why did they rebel collectively as if they were starting a revolution just because Chen Feng drew a wave of prizes? I agree. Wang Sikong, host, please move away and give your seat to OU Huang. I want to see more clearly. Please move to the side. +1. +2. +10,086. Sushin Yu almost broke down in tears after reading the comments. She stood up and gave her seat to Chen Feng. Yeah, I'm sorry for wronging you. I'll make it up to you after the live broadcast is over. After Chen Feng finished speaking, he saw that the backend had received the game account and password sent by the user named Wang Sikong. The game he played was called Glory of the Dead, which is a very popular mobile game nowadays. Chen Feng quickly logged into his game account and selected the Glory Crystal Lottery Pool. There are already 25 points in the lottery pool. Chen Feng did not hesitate and directly launched a 5-draw trend. Chapter 50. The most handsome Oushin comes to challenge. Rub. 50 diamonds. Love rose. 50 diamonds. In a wave of 5 consecutive draws, I drew 200 diamonds and a passionate rose. There was a sudden burst of boos in the live broadcast room. TSK, what rubbish, isn't this hand too shabby? I spent 500 yuan on Daobao to get a glory crystal. I exchanged it for Luban's skin, and I never came out of the crystal again. The anchor next door, 105, has already drawn the glory crystal. Let's go watch from next door. Didn't you all call him the European emperor just now? Glory crystals aren't that easy to draw. Are you guys who are scolding the anchor your first time playing a Tencent game? Sushin Yu glanced at the comments and said to Chen Feng, you'd better stop smoking. If you keep making trouble like this, all my fans will run away. Wang Sikong, it's okay, let him continue to draw. As long as he is the lucky one, I'm happy to lose money. After posting the barrage, the user named Wang Sikong immediately gave several thousand gifts. The live broadcast room was filled with excitement. Chen Feng was encouraged and made another 5-draw streak. Rub. Athena's Ice Princess. Wang Zhaojuan's Fantasy Wonderful Night. Hero Lu Bu. Hero Sima Yi. Glory Crystal. 35 points, directly get the Glory Crystal. The barrage of comments suddenly changed to complaints, and 666 started flying everywhere. European Emperor is awesome. Please take my knees. Host, please help me draw a crystal. I'll steal the money my dad hides in his showbox to give you a reward. The elementary school student upstairs, go do your homework instead of playing your stupid game. I'm playing Jedi Bird Eater, can the anchor help me draw a lottery? More and more fans were sending private messages to Chen Feng frantically, asking him to help them draw prizes in the game. Su Shenyu sat next to Chen Feng, but few people paid attention to her. Those fans who entered the live broadcast room later thought they had entered the wrong room and exited and re-entered the room several times. They were skeptical until they confirmed that this was Su Shenyue's live broadcast room. After watching Chen Feng draw the lottery for a few seconds, they were deeply attracted by the content of the live broadcast. To be honest, I usually watch Su Bingyue's live broadcast just for fun. If you want to see her skills, you have to look at the European Emperor. I went to another live broadcast room to promote and was blocked. This is my secondary account. I'm new here. Is this the live broadcast room of the #1 European god on the internet? Is there a mobile phone battle in this live broadcast room? If not, a North-South war will also be fine. Who obey Emperor, get out. The live broadcast room was bustling with activity. The barrage of comments filled the screen like crazy, and the gifts were flying everywhere. However, in just half an hour, Su Shenyu gained another 300,000 new fans, and the popularity of her live broadcast room was 3 million higher than the highest value of her usual live broadcast. The games sent by fans in private messages include the most popular PC and mobile games. Chen Feng helped them log into the game and draw the lottery according to their ranking in the gift-giving list. Various heaven-defying equipment, top-grade artifacts, limited edition beasts. Every time I draw, I get the answer right. It's as easy as eating and drinking water. Thank you, host, for helping me draw Luban's video game character. I spent thousands of dollars on this set of equipment but still couldn't get it, but the anchor got it with just one draw. That's awesome. Har har, Mr. Ma is at a big loss this time. When will it be my turn to draw the lottery for me? Is it because I didn't send you the game account and password? Cheating, I've reported it. Can you please ask the woman next to you to move away? She's an eyesore. 66,666. Seeing the screen full of 666, Su Shenyu felt so aggrieved that tears almost fell from her eyes. It was supposed to be his 3rd anniversary fan appreciation live broadcast, but it was stolen by that bastard Chen Feng. She looked down at her carefully dressed maid outfit and pouted her cherry lips in displeasure. Yeah, why are you pouting? Do you want a kiss? Chen Feng came closer and asked with a low smile. Who wants a kiss? Go and draw your prize. Su Shenyu turned her head away, not looking at Chen Feng's shameless handsome face. Chen Feng raised his hand and patted her smooth thigh, then saw a message like this in the private message from a first-level account. I am the most handsome European god in the live broadcast room next to you. You can search for me. This is my Smurf account. If you have the guts, log into my game account and give me a prize draw. Otherwise, I will never obey you, and you can't take away my fans. Shameless. There are actually people more shameless than me. Just when Chen Feng was sighing in his heart, the most handsome Oyushin sent another private message. Don't ever say this is my Smurf account in the live broadcast room, or you'll be in trouble. This is a colleague who is unhappy and comes here to pick a fight. Okay. After replying, Chen Feng quickly logged into the game according to the game account and password provided. As he opened the game's lottery pool, he said to the audience in the live broadcast room, "This is an account that a streamer named Zui Shui Oyushin strongly asked me to log into. Zui Shui Oyushin, if you are still in the live broadcast room, please deduct 1. When they heard the words most handsome European god, some of the audience in the live broadcast room became excited. Because many of them came from the live broadcast room of the most handsome Oyushin, and many of them even had his fan tags. No way, God OU is here too. No wonder he ended the show early. It turns out he came here to steal some skills. Oyushin, please come out quickly and deduct 1. Come out, we won't laugh at you." Chen Feng raised his lips lightly, "The most handsome Oyushin, if you are here, deduct 1. If you don't deduct one, I won't give you a chance to draw. Where's Oyushin? Have you become a turtle? 111,111. Har har, I scored for Oyushin. After waiting for another half a minute, the most handsome Oyushin still did not come out to dunk. Chen Feng smiled and said, I'll give you 5 more seconds. If you don't deduct one, I will log into someone else's game account. Damn, you are so cruel. After sending the private message, the most handsome European god helplessly put a 1 in the barrage. And this time he used the big account he used for live broadcast. Oh my god, God OU appears. Har har har, it really is God OU. You call yourself the god of Europe, why do you need the Emperor of Europe to draw a lottery for you? This is a challenge. God OU doesn't plan to swipe 2 rockets. Chen Feng smiled as he watched the comments teasing this brother called the handsomest Oyushin. Although he had not watched the live broadcast of the most handsome Oyushin, since he dared to come and challenge him, Chen Feng had no intention of letting him go back with a smile. Isn't it nonsense to call yourself the god of Europe in front of him, the number 1 god of Europe on the entire internet? Chen Feng chose to turn off the skills of the number 1 European god on the entire network. This is the same as the X-ray vision function you obtained before, and you can choose to turn it on and off. Only he himself knows how bad his luck is after he turned off his skills. In the past, he bought instant noodles without seasoning packets, cans without pull rings, and milk tea without straws. With this kind of luck, which is more depressing than athlete's foot, he unfortunately cannot kill this man named the most handsome Oyushin. Chapter 51, I Can't Kill You. In front of tens of millions of viewers in the live broadcast room, Chen Feng began to draw the lottery for the most handsome European god. Let us start with a 5-draw streak. Rub, rub, rub. What was revealed were some 1 or 3-day trial cards and diamonds. Another wave of 10 draws. Rub, rub, rub. Still a bunch of experience cards and diamonds. Another 10-draw streak. Seeing the points in the account decreasing at a speed visible to the naked eye, the audience became a little uneasy. Why did the European Emperor's luck turn bad? Did you do that on purpose? Can you control the lottery based on your mood? I've already drawn over 100 times, but I haven't gotten any good equipment. This is lame. Could it be that God OU has fainted in the toilet from crying? Chen Feng smiled and started another round of 10 consecutive draws. Good brothers, that was a mistake just now. This time I will definitely draw out the best equipment for this brother called the most handsome Oyushin. The game that Chen Feng is currently logging into is called Keng Bassini, a web game that was popular 3 or 4 years ago. In this game, the cost of a lottery draw is 10 yuan, and the price of a wave of 10 draws is 100 yuan. In less than 5 minutes, I spent more than 200,000 points, but still didn't get any top quality equipment. 666,666. Their host has such great luck. It's fucking darker than a black hole. Mr. Mar made a fortune with tears in his eyes. It makes my blood boil, it feels so good. Anchor, don't tease me. Su Xinyu looked at the comments that were swiping the screen like crazy, her brows furrowed in anxiety. After investing more than 200,000 yuan in coupons, Chen Feng didn't win anything. Regardless of what the most handsome god OU thinks, the audience will definitely not be happy to see this. She nervously looked at the popularity and number of followers in the live broadcast room, fearing that her popularity would drop rapidly. Really? Rub, rub, rub. The popularity of the live broadcast room soared in just 5 minutes. Rise. The number of followers has increased by more than 100,000 compared to before. How could this happen? Su Xinyu was very surprised. And what surprised her even more was yet to come. More and more people are giving gifts, which directly leads to. It's stuck. Su Xinyu watched the barrage screen freeze because too many people were giving gifts. And this lag lasted for at least 3 minutes. What's going on? I thought my phone was stuck. There are suddenly many who obey emperors. Do you think they can get it for free if you don't give them some gifts? Host, keep drawing. As long as you don't draw out top quality equipment, my gifts will not stop. Har har, kill him. I lost tens of thousands of dollars in a short time. God OU, are you still alive? I don't know why, but watching the lucky anchor draw a prize gives me a huge sense of pleasure. The most handsome Oyushin has fainted in the toilet from crying. He kept sending private messages to Chen Feng to insult him, but most of these abusive words were blocked after being detected by the system. The only complete sentence I could see was that he kept asking Chen Feng to log off voluntarily. Chen Feng glanced at the private message in the background and said to the audience in the live broadcast room with pretended guilt, "My dear brothers, I'm sorry, my hands suddenly became dark, I have to log off the account." The audience was enjoying the show, so naturally they were unhappy when Chen Feng suddenly went offline. "I was so happy that I took off my pants, and you're telling me this? Keep smoking, don't stop. Can't the anchor afford to play? I just like watching people like you draw the lottery with bad luck." Chen Feng pretended to click to log out of the account. "Good brothers, the live broadcast is over. The owner of the account is unhappy, but he won't let me tell you about this." The most handsome European god not only burst into tears, but also spat out a mouthful of blood towards the sink. When it comes to being servile, he really admires Chen Feng. When a person is extremely humble, he is invincible. Today, he has finally experienced this invincible state. "Anchor, keep pumping, ignore him. God oh you, at worst I can go to your live broadcast room and give you 2 planes. Just hand over your account. Last time I asked Oyushin to help him draw a lottery, he really screwed me over. I spent half a month's salary on it and got nothing. I'd been cheated before, and now that I see him getting cheated, I feel so good. Being tricked +1. Being tricked +2. Being cheated +565501187. The most handsome European god no longer has the courage to even read the barrage. He felt heartbroken as he watched his number of followers, who were over 200,000, drop to tens of thousands in an instant. "Since my good brothers are so enthusiastic, I will continue to smoke." Chen Feng saw that there were still more than 100,000 points in his game account, so he clicked on the lottery and continued drawing. Rub, rub, rub. Rub, rub, rub. Golden lights flashed by, but what popped out were the lowest level diamonds and experience cards. I haven't even drawn an ordinary permanent equipment. If we talk about bad luck, Chen Feng feels that if he ranks second, no one would dare to rank first. It seemed that more than 100,000 points were about to be thrown into the lottery pool. At this moment, a message box suddenly popped up on the computer screen. "Oh shit. After system detection, the account was blocked for 365 years. Although this number can be released again, after 365 years, it can be applied to be included in the intangible cultural heritage, right? I've been playing this account for several years. I've managed it with great effort and diligence, and it's been blocked just like that." The most handsome European god cried his eyes out. Moreover, he spent hundreds of thousands of points on this account, but didn't get any top quality equipment, and the system detected that his account had engaged in improper behavior. Even if you want to cheat someone, you can't do it this way. When the audience in the live broadcast room saw that the account of the most handsome Oyushin was blocked, their emotions immediately reached the highest point. "Ha ha ha ha, I laughed my ass off. The worst Oyushin in history, he gave his account to someone else, lost tens of thousands of dollars, got nothing, and got his account banned. Don't cry, God oh you will be a hero again in 365 years. The super administrator has already been in the live broadcast room. I wonder if you have noticed it. It must have been reported by the super administrator. Report the super administrator. The only ones who still have this game account are old players, playing for the sake of nostalgia. If it is blocked like this, they will not be able to eat for several days, right?" Among the many comments that flooded the screen, there was one that said, "I was the one who blocked the account. If you don't accept it, come and kill me." However, because there were so many people swiping the screen, almost no one paid attention to this comment. Even if someone saw it, they would think it was some naughty netizen pretending to be stupid and posting it deliberately to attract attention. Little did people know that the person who posted this comment was sitting leisurely in the headquarters of the Kenbasini game, with his legs crossed and a smug smile on his face. "Little guy, I've been staring at your live broadcast room for a long time. I can't do anything about cheating in other games, but if you want to cheat in our game, it's impossible. I will just block your account. I don't believe I can't kill you. Chapter 52. Can you do it?" The game account of the most handsome Oyushin was blocked, so he found the super administrator of the Shark live broadcast platform and cried heartbreakingly. The super administrator entered Sushinyu's live broadcast room. As Sushinyu's #1 fan, he just asked Sushinyu to go off the air early and have a rest. Before leaving, he kept saying good night to her like a dog, but he didn't say a word about the account being blocked. After the broadcast, Su Shenyu went to take a shower, and Chen Feng ran to the kitchen to make noodles for his fiancée who had been depressed all night. By the time 2 bowls of steaming, fragrant spicy beef noodles came out of the pot, Su Shenyu came out of the bathroom in her pajamas, smelling of shower gel. Yeah, I cooked some midnight snacks, come and have some. Chen Feng smiled and brought 2 bowls of spicy beef noodles to the table. Su Shenyu looked at the delicious noodles and couldn't help swallowing. But she stubbornly refused. I'm not hungry, you can eat it yourself. Chen Feng picked up a large chopstick of noodles and put it into his mouth, his expression extremely enjoyable. Tilda, it tastes great. Yeah, are you sure you don't want to eat it? Fresh green vegetables float on a thin layer of oil soup, the tender beef slices are cut into even thicknesses, and the noodles are chewy. One bite and you'll fully absorb the rich and delicious flavor of the soup, leaving you with an endless aftertaste. Su Shenyue's saliva was almost flowing out, but she turned her face away and forced herself not to pay attention to the beef noodles on the table. I said I don't want to eat. I have no appetite. Since you don't want to eat, then I'll go ask my aunt if she wants to eat. Chen Feng said as he was about to stand up. Auntie is already asleep, don't disturb her. Su Shenyu immediately sat down at the dining table, picked up her chopsticks and started to eat voraciously. Yeah, eat slowly. Chen Feng hooked his lips lovingly and asked with a smile, does my vagina taste good? Su Shenyu was completely focused on the noodles, so she naturally didn't look at Chen Feng's smile, which was gradually becoming evil. She chewed the noodles in big mouthfuls, making hum sounds with her mouth. Chen Feng pushed the issue further and asked, little yeah, I'll let you eat my pussy every day, okay Tilda? Yeah. Su Shenyu continued to utter monosyllables in her throat. Soon, a big bowl of noodles was eaten. Su Shenyu burped contentedly. She slumped in the chair, touching her bulging belly, her brows furrowed. It's over. I'm going to gain weight again. I just made a promise not to eat midnight snacks during the day. Chen Feng comforted her, it's okay, only when you are full can you have the energy to lose weight. Su Shenyu put her hands on the table and asked in horror, Chen Feng, do you really think I'm fat? Not fat. How fat can a little girl who weighs less than 90 kilograms be? Yeah, even if you weigh 200 pounds, I won't despise you. At most, I will eat with you until you weigh 200 pounds. Chen Feng, who always spoke nonsense, suddenly said something sensational, and Su Shenyu couldn't help but blush. Cut. She curled her lips in disdain, stood up, and stretched her limbs. I'm going to do some exercise. Chen Feng cleared the dishes on the table, stood up, walked to Su Shenyu who was exercising, and said with a smile, yeah, it's more fun to exercise with someone than to exercise alone. Su Shenyu blinked, really? What interesting sports can 2 people do together? Chen Feng grabbed her slender little hand and walked straight to the living room, follow me, and you will know. Su Shenyu followed Chen Feng curiously into the living room. Soon, her voice was heard from the living room, Chen Feng, this won't do. Chen Feng sighed and frowned, yeah, then let's change places and go back to the kitchen. After getting Su Shenyue's consent, Chen Feng took her back to the kitchen. The 2 of them were busy in the kitchen again, but the result was still unsatisfactory. Su Shenyu panted and said, Chen Feng, this still won't work. How could this happen? Chen Feng scratched his head, then let's try it on the balcony. Su Shenyu thought that it was already late at night. If she went to the balcony, the noise would be too loud and would alarm others. She shook her head and said, let's not go to the balcony. It's okay. It won't disturb anyone else. Trust me. Looking at Chen Feng's determined eyes, Su Shenyu nodded. It still doesn't work. Su Shenyu was already sweating profusely at this moment. The shower she had just taken wasted her time. Chen Feng, can you do this? How can a man be told no? Especially since these words came from my fiancé's mouth. Chen Feng felt that he had to prove himself to Su Shenyu. He took Su Shenyue's hand and strode towards his bedroom. Let's go to my room and try again. Hey, Chen Feng, let me go, I don't want to go to your room. Su Shenyue's face was full of shame and anger. You have to take it whether you want it or not. This time it's not up to you. Chen Feng said this domineeringly and took Su Shenyu straight to his room. Chen Feng, you can't do this. I think you are really not capable. In the next half hour, Chen Feng took Su Shenyu to the study and cloakroom. Finally, in the bathroom, Su Shenyu sat on the sink, swinging her long legs, panting and saying, "Great, it's finally done." Chen Feng was also sweating from exhaustion. Yeah, are you tired? What do you think? Su Shenyu pouted her lips. I never thought that doing something like this would be so tiring. Yeah, you keep saying that I can't do it. It becomes even more difficult when I get nervous. Chen Feng was depressed. Su Shenyu couldn't help but smile. It's you who can't do it. I was able to connect to the wireless network directly before, but it took you so long this time. Chen Feng also felt aggrieved. I guess there was a minor problem with the wireless today, otherwise it wouldn't have taken half an hour to connect. He saw that Su Shenyu was sweating all over, and the sweat had soaked most of her pajamas, which stuck to her skin, revealing the beauty inside. Ahem. After a light cough, Chen Feng said, Yeah, it's getting late. You should go to bed early. Su Shenyu got down from the sink and walked out of the bathroom with Chen Feng. Chen Feng, are you going to participate in the God of Cooking competition tomorrow? Yes. Chen Feng nodded. Will you come to the scene tomorrow? Su Shenyu tilted her head and thought for a while. It depends on my mood. Why are you inviting me? Chen Feng showed a harmless smile. Yeah, I would be very happy if you could come. Su Shenyu pretended not to hear, walked to the living room, took an apple and went back to her room. Yeah, it's not good to eat apples at night. Try this instead. Chen Feng said, handing Su Shenyu the bananas and fruit cucumbers he had carefully selected. Thank you. Su Shenyu took it. You should also go to bed early. Chapter 53 Cucumber. Early the next morning, Chen Feng got up when Zhang Yuyan enthusiastically urged him to eat breakfast. Just after sitting down and eating 2 bites of steamed buns, Su Shenyu and Su Shenyao came out of the room with sleepy eyes. My 2 little darlings, come and try the breakfast that your auntie has carefully prepared for you. Su Shenyao immediately perked up when she smelled the aroma of food. She ran to the dining table and shouted happily, Wow, auntie, are these wontons you made yourself? Of course. Zhang Yuyan said proudly, Yao, this is your favorite mushroom pork filling, and yeah. She asked Su Shenyu to sit down as well. Auntie prepared egg yolk pork filling for you, try it and see if it's the flavor you like. Su Shenyu ate one and praised with satisfaction, it's delicious. Thank you, auntie. I have known my aunt for 20 years. Before, I only knew that she was a famous gourmet and had seen her on many food shows. But no one had ever seen her cook, and even John Lindai had never eaten the food cooked by her aunt. As a result, when Chen Feng came, not only did my aunt's slender fingers get wet with water, but she also cooked every meal, getting up early and going to bed late, and never got tired of it. This bastard is simply cheating, right? Su Shenyao ate the food in her bowl and looked at Chen Feng curiously. Brother Xiaofeng, what kind of filling are you eating? Chen Feng smiled and replied, the one I just ate seems to be stuffed with lobster. Yes, I prepared a family portrait for Xiao Feng Feng. The wontons in it are stuffed with lobster, abalone, and... After listening to Zhang Yuyan's detailed explanation, the 2 sisters of the Su family's face darkened. Being treated differently again. Well, you shouldn't ask. Zhang Yuyan naturally didn't notice the 2 sisters' frustrated feelings. She glanced at the fruit plate on the coffee table. Before I returned to my room yesterday, I saw that there were still quite a few bananas and cucumbers in the fruit plate. When I woke up this morning, I found that several were missing. Which of you little darlings has eaten them? Su Shenyu answered truthfully, I ate a banana and a cucumber. Su Shenyao also raised her hand. I was watching videos last night and I was tempted by the fruit salad, so I went downstairs and made one for myself. I got the bananas and apples for Yaya. Chen Feng glanced at Su Shenyu and asked Zhang Yuyan, Aunt, why are you suddenly interested in the fruit plate? Zhang Yuyan smiled and said, Har, it's nothing actually. I just woke up this morning and saw that there were fewer bananas and cucumbers in the fruit bowl. I thought you guys took them like I did. 3 innocent underage boys and girls said that their aunt was suspected of driving. Su Shenyao made a motion of fastening a seat belt. Auntie, wait a minute, I'll fasten my seat belt first. Su Shenyue's cheeks were slightly red. Aunt, Chen Feng is next to you. It's not a good idea to say some things in front of him, right? It's just a cucumber, why can't you say it in front of Xiao Feng Feng? Zhang Yuyan looked puzzled. She looked at the two sisters of the Su family and asked curiously, "Could it be that you two have never used cucumbers before?" The two sisters of the Su family waved their hands repeatedly and shook their heads awkwardly. "No, no. I use it often, it's very comfortable." Zhang Yuyan looked at Chen Feng. "Xiao Feng Feng, you can also try it." "Aunt, I don't need it. I can give birth myself." Chen Feng didn't expect Zhang Yuyan to suddenly say such words to him. At this moment, his expression was not much better than that of the two sisters of the Su family. "You can also produce your own cucumbers." Zhang Yuyan almost couldn't close her mouth with laughter. "Is it crispy? Is it sweet?" Chen Feng answered seriously, "I don't know whether it's sweet or not, Bao Da." Puff. Zhang Yuyan looked at the two sisters' blushing faces and slowed down the car in time. "You guys, you are young, but your thoughts are not pure. Look at you, what are you thinking about?" Su Xinyao lowered her head and whispered, "Aunt, it was obviously you who drove first." "I'm not driving. When I said using cucumbers, I meant using them as a facial mask to improve your skin. What do you think I meant? So that's how it is." While Su Xinyao was eating wontons, she kept glancing at Chen Feng. Chen Feng's words, "Bao Da," just now had already left a deep impression in her mind. As someone who has read hundreds of novels about domineering CEOs, she really wants to verify whether the phrase, "Bao Da," is true or false. The pleasant breakfast time is over. As one of the judges of the God of Cooking contest, Zhang Yuyan rushed to the recording site in advance. Chen Feng cleaned up the dishes and waited for the sisters to get dressed. Then they drove to the Rongqing gymnasium to wait for the recording of the competition. The program crew notified that the recording time was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. While it was still early, Chen Feng took the sisters for a stroll. Su Shenyu saw a lottery shop. Thinking about how Chen Feng was called the European Emperor in his live broadcast room last night and was ignored and neglected by fans, she was still in a bad mood today. "Seventh sister, let's go buy lottery tickets." Su Xinyao held the milk tea and asked curiously, "Fifth sister, did you lose money from live streaming?" "No." Su Xinya's little head was filled with doubts. "Since you are already so rich, why do you still buy lottery tickets? Can't you leave a glimmer of hope for those who are not as rich as you? It's as if your fifth sister will definitely win 5 million if she buys a lottery ticket." Chen Feng smiled and touched Su Xinya's head, then said to Su Shenyu, Yeah, let's go, I'll play with you." In order to prove that she had no dirty hands, Su Shenyu walked into a lottery shop and bought 100 lottery tickets at one time. The lottery draw time for this issue is 12 o'clock in the evening. She secretly made up her mind that she must win the prize and give Chen Feng a taste of his magic tonight. Su Xinyao saw a long-haired boy scratching the card hard and asked curiously, "Boss, how do you play this?" The owner of the lottery shop saw that Su Xinyao was so cute and introduced enthusiastically, "This is a koi scratch-off ticket. It's very popular. You can win the prize immediately after scratching it. There are 5 yuan tickets and 20 yuan tickets. Little sister, do you want to play?" Su Xinyao blinked her big watery eyes and looked at Su Shenyu. Su Shenyu immediately took out the money. "Boss, 20 yuan, give me 100. The boss immediately handed Su Shenyu 100 scratch cards. He smiled and said, "This time the koi scratch card also has a grand prize. The highest prize is 100,000, and no one has won it yet. I wish you two beauties good luck." Seeing that Su Shenyu was playing seriously, the boss pointed at the long-haired boy and whispered, "Look at that guy. He comes to my store every day to buy lottery tickets. Unfortunately, he has never been blessed by God and has never won even 100 yuan." Chen Feng was standing next to the long-haired boy. After hearing what his boss said, he looked at the boy. While scratching the lottery ticket, the boy opened his phone and hurriedly replied to messages. Chen Feng glanced at his phone, curled his lips, and bought a scratch card from the boss. He walked up to the long-haired boy with the scratch card and said, "Handsome guy, I don't have fingernails. Can you help me scratch this card? If I win, I'll give you all the money inside." "Stupid." The long-haired boy cursed under his breath and took the scratch card from Chen Feng's hand. Scrape and scrape. When he saw 100,000 yuan suddenly appear in front of him, he was so excited that he almost knelt down to Chen Feng. You just said you would give me all the money, do you still mean it?" Chapter 54. He is my fiancé. "Of course." Chen Feng nodded with a smile. "Har har, I'm rich. The long-haired boy excitedly made a phone call. Brother, I won the prize. 100,000 yuan, it's true. If you don't believe me, come and claim the prize yourself. After finishing the call, he looked at Chen Feng, swallowed his saliva, and asked again uncertainly, Are you sure you want to give me all the 100,000 yuan? How about we split it 50-50? Chen Feng refused calmly, No, I don't want a penny of this money. No, my brother said that we can't take advantage of others for nothing. The long-haired boy reached into his trouser pocket and pulled out a pile of crumpled banknotes, including 10 yuan and 20 yuan notes. I'll return the money I spent on the scratch card to you. The smallest one I have is only $10. Give me 5. After hesitating for 2 seconds, he generously handed a 10 yuan note to Chen Feng. No need to change the 5 yuan. Looking at the sweat-stained banknotes handed to him, Chen Feng was about to reach out to take it. Suddenly, a hoarse voice sounded at the door of the lottery shop. Yu Yan, what are you doing? The long-haired boy turned his head when he heard the familiar voice, holding the winning scratch card, and said happily, Brother, I won the prize. 100,000 yuan. He pointed at Chen Feng and introduced, No, to be precise, this handsome guy bought the scratch card, but he gave it to me, and then I won. Yu Wei looked at Chen Feng. It just so happened that Chen Feng was also looking at him. 2 pairs of eyes looked at each other. Yu Wei's pupils widened suddenly. Compared to the surprise on his face, Chen Feng's expression was much calmer. He curled his lips and revealed a handsome and compelling smile. It's you? This time it was Yu Yang who was puzzled. Brother, do you know each other? Yu Wei stared at Chen Feng for a few seconds, then shook his head. No, I don't know him. He looked at the scratch card in Yu Yang's hand. You said he gave you this scratch card. Yes, this handsome guy said he had no nails and asked me to shave them for him. All the money I earned would belong to me. Yu Yang smiled proudly and said, I was a little angry at the time. Who knew that there was such a big prize hidden in this card, a full 100,000 yuan. The boss said that this is the biggest prize in this issue of scratch cards. Yu Wei couldn't laugh. Even my mood became more and more unhappy. This damn bastard had all his gaming accounts blocked during the live broadcast yesterday, and caused him to lose tens of thousands of fans. He was worrying about how to seek revenge on Chen Feng. As a result, this grandson was actually met by his own younger brother. Even if he died of poverty or jumped off a building, he would not take a penny of the money he gave him. Give it back to him immediately. We don't want this money. Yu Wei said coldly. Yu Yang was puzzled and clenched the scratch card in his hand. Why, brother, they gave it to me willingly. I didn't steal or rob, so why don't I want it? He curled his lips and said aggrievedly, Besides, with the little money you make from live streaming, this 100,000 yuan will be enough for you to work less for 2 or 3 years. Yu Wei kept a stern face and said nothing. After thinking about it carefully, he felt that what his brother said made sense. This grandson Chen Feng made me cry in the bathroom all night last night, causing great harm to me both physically and mentally. It's not excessive for him to ask for some money. Brother, I think what you said makes sense. Yu Wei took the scratch card and walked straight to the counter. Boss, redeem the prize. Yu Yang. Although he knew that his brother had no principles. However, this time he is too unprincipled. Didn't he just say he didn't care? Fifth sister, why don't you play anymore? Su Xinyao looked at Su Xinyu who had already stopped playing. Su Xinyu said calmly, It's not fun, it's boring. The biggest prize in this scratch card issue has been bought by Chen Feng, and then he gave it away. What's the point of her continuing to scratch? Su Xinyao didn't know what Su Xinyu was thinking. She smiled and held up the scratch card. I think it's fun, fifth sister, look, I scratched another 10 yuan one. When Yu Wei saw Su Xinyu, his eyes widened bigger than copper bells. He was already a fan of Su Xinyu, and now that they met in real life, he found that Su Xinyu was even more beautiful than when she was on the live broadcast. Su Bingyu. Yu Wei stepped forward unconsciously. Is it really you? There is no doubt that this must be my fan. Su Xinyu glanced at Chen Feng, smiled and nodded. Yes, it's me. Yu Wei was so excited to see such a charming and brilliant smile that he almost fainted on the spot. He suddenly felt dry in the mouth and began to stutter. I'm your fan, my name is Yu Wei, well, I'm also on Shark Live, my ID is the most handsome OU god, Goddess Su, you are so beautiful, I don't know what to say. Su Xinyu has basically no impression of her fans. Even if they have given her millions of tips, she never remembers them. But she was particularly impressed by the one called the most handsome Oushin. Isn't he the unlucky guy who was treated badly by Chen Feng last night? Oh tilde, so you are the most handsome Oushin. Sushin Yu looked Yu Wei up and down. I don't think you are handsome. Last night, the comments in the live broadcast room said that you have a bad hand. You chose this name purely to deceive the audience, or is it that two negatives equal a positive? Yu Wei scratched his head awkwardly. Goddess Su is making fun of me. What happened yesterday was actually. Thinking of the 100,000 yuan that just went into his pocket, he smiled and said, if you hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten about it. The European Emperor is the European Emperor, and it's really awesome. Goddess Su, you are my goddess forever. As he said that, Yu Wei looked at Chen Feng again. Emperor Ou, from now on, you are my eternal male god. Chen Feng chuckled and looked at Sushin Yu affectionately. Yaya is also my eternal goddess. Sushin Yu snorted coldly. Didn't you say last time that the eldest sister and the fourth sister are your goddesses? Yaya, I rarely fall in love with women. Not every woman can be my goddess. Chen Feng ruffled Sushin Yu's hair. You are the 649,134th goddess that my heart is moved by. Sushin Yu immediately looked up and glared at Chen Feng. She should have expected that nothing serious would come out of this bastard's mouth. Yu Wei saw Chen Feng and Sushin Yu flirting and loving each other, and asked enviously, Emperor Ou, Goddess Su, you two were live streaming together last night, what is your relationship? He's my fiancée. She's my fiancée. The two said in unison. I understand. As a single man, Yu Wei almost burst into tears. Emperor Europe, Goddess Su, I wish you a happy marriage and a baby soon. Brother, let's go. Sushin Yao looked at the backs of the two people leaving and whispered, I am also Brother Xiaofeng's fiancé, I haven't told you yet. As soon as their words fell, Yu Wei cursed again, damn, which local tyrant parked his Rolls Royce here and I almost ran into it. Chen Feng smiled and reminded, you better be careful when you walk. It's not a big deal if I hit my car, but it's a big deal if I hit you. I get it, Emperor of Europe. This time, Yu Wei completely shed tears of envy, jealousy and hatred. The European Emperor is the European Emperor. Whether in the virtual network or in reality, he is a winner in life. Ordinary people like him can never envy her. Chapter 55, Culinary Director. After the two brothers Yu Yang and Yu Wei left the lottery shop, Chen Feng also bought a lottery ticket. The maximum winning amount in this lottery is 5 million, which is enough for him to buy a house in Chengdu after deducting taxes. Although his mother-in-law is the richest woman and his fiancés all have enough money, as a man, Chen Feng never forgets his identity as the pillar of the family. As for the remaining money, Chen Feng plans to donate the money to charity to give back to society, and he also hopes to take this opportunity to use the power of society to find his long-lost parents. No matter whether they are still alive or not, he will not give up as long as there is a glimmer of hope. After buying the lottery ticket, Chen Feng carefully folded it in half and put it in his pocket. Seeing that Chen Feng and Sushin Yu both bought lottery tickets, Sushin Yao was unwilling to be left behind. But because she suffered from a fear of making choices, she always had trouble choosing numbers, so in the end she asked Chen Feng to buy 3 tickets for her. Walk out of the lottery shop. Sushin Yao asked Chen Feng curiously, Brother Xiaofeng, if you win 5 million, how do you plan to spend the money? Chen Feng answered without hesitation, buy a house. Buy a house. Sushin Yao's eyes suddenly became moist. Brother Xiaofeng, you don't want to move out, do you? Chen Feng dotingly and firmly promised, no, I won't leave Yao Yao. Sushin Yu heard Chen Feng talking about buying a house and thought of what she had discussed with her aunt last night. Chen Feng, I have already discussed the house with my aunt last night. My aunt has also looked for me. Sushin Yu looked at the sudden smile on Chen Feng's lips and suddenly had a bad feeling in her heart. So which room did you want? Chen Feng answered truthfully, Green Town. Really? I'm Green City too. Sushin Yu always felt that the matter of the house was not just a coincidence. She couldn't help but ask, what did my aunt tell you at that time? Chen Feng smiled and said, she said you picked a lot of communities, but you only liked Greentown. But she told me that you picked out a lot of neighborhoods, but you didn't like Greentown. I fell into my aunt's trap again. Chen Feng saw the expression on his fiancée's face, not knowing whether to cry or laugh, and said with a smile, I think Greentown is good. It's close to my school and the transportation around it is also convenient. Walking to the front of the car, Chen Feng helped Su Shenyu open the passenger door. Wait for me to get out of school, and then we can go out for dinner. After dinner, we can take a walk, go shopping, and buy your favorite milk tea and puffs. If you need express delivery or takeout, I can also run errands for you. As he said that, he helped Su Shenyu fasten her seatbelt. It's not bad to think about it this way, yeah, what do you think? The sense of immersion is too strong. Su Shenyu felt that she was happy to have started a relationship with Chen Feng. However, she pretended to be disgusted and said, I don't think it's good at all. Living in the same community with you will make the air polluted. For others, all they smell is the rotten smell of love, but for you and me, it's all sweet tilde. TSK, Su Shenyu turned her face away and looked out the window, but couldn't help but curl her lips. Who cares? Boo, boo, boo. Su Shenyu, who was sitting in the back seat, listened to the conversation between Chen Feng and Su Shenyu, covering her mouth to prevent herself from barking like a sad dog. She already smelled the stench of love. As soon as he stepped on the accelerator, Chen Feng received a call from Zhang Yuyan, urging him to go to Rongqing Sports Center as soon as possible to record the God of Cooking competition. A few minutes later, Chen Feng and the other two got out of the car and entered the gymnasium under the guidance of security guards. On their way to the dressing room, Chen Feng met many audiences waiting to enter. Many of them recognized Su Shenyu and began to enthusiastically shout her name and took out their phones to take photos. It was as lively as a celebrity meet and greet. If the security guards hadn't tried their best to stop them, the aisle would have been completely blocked. Except for a few crazy female viewers who said, so handsome, Chen Feng's popularity was almost dismal. Little handsome boy. In the dressing room, a beautiful woman looked at Chen Feng in surprise, with an expression of surprise and joy on her face. Chen Feng turned around and felt that the woman in front of him was familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen her. The beautiful woman walked up to him and asked with a smile, don't you recognize me? We met at the gambling venue. Seeing that Chen Feng was still a little confused, she continued to give him a hint. It was the rough material that you knocked off, and it turned out to be imperial green. Do you remember it now? After she said this, Chen Feng completely remembered who the woman in front of him was. I'm sorry, pretty sister, I didn't recognize you at first. It's not your fault. Women change their makeup every day. It's normal that you can't recognize me. She extended her hand. Formally introduce myself. My name is Li Pingping, and I am the culinary director of this competition. What's your name? Chen Feng also stretched out his hand. Chen Feng, come and join the competition. Li Pingping couldn't help but look at Chen Feng with admiration. You are actually a great chef. I'm rooting for you in the competition later, come on tilde. Thank you, Sister Pingping. I will try my best. Chen Feng smiled modestly. Add me on WeChat. Li Pingping took the initiative to add Chen Feng on WeChat, and then left the dressing room. Chen Feng sat down and the makeup artist began to put makeup on him. He is already very handsome, with fine features, and with a simple touch of makeup he can be comparable to today's popular young actors. At the same time, he noticed that there was a card with the contestant's name in front of each makeup mirror. Su Shenyu took out her cell phone and started searching on Baidu. Fang Sudong, the head chef of the Royal Court Hotel, a famous chef in Chengdu, and the founder of the Famous Chefs Association. And there is Jiang Zheng, a famous chef at Wuzhou Hotel. He has been a technical backbone of many large hotels in Chengdu since he started working as a chef. Wow, this Liu Niu is even more amazing. He is the head chef of Hongqing Hotel and has won the gold medal in the Chengdu Culinary Exchange competition. Besides, after Su Shenyu looked up the basic information of the other 5 participating chefs on Baidu, she couldn't help but admire them. In my mind, Brother Chen Feng's cooking is the best in the world. He is definitely the champion of this cooking competition. Chen Feng chuckled, you are the only one who has a sweet mouth. I'm just telling the truth, right, fifth sister? Su Shenyu looked at Su Shenyu. Su Shenyu uttered a faint hum through her nose. I'll search Brother Xiao Feng on Baidu and see what I can find out. Su Shenyu curiously typed, Chen Feng is a chef, into the Baidu box. Before she even clicked on search, the little girl's expression started to look strange. Su Shenyu looked over curiously. What's wrong? What did you find? Su Shenyu secretly stuck out her tongue and looked at Chen Feng. Really, this isn't very nice. Chen Feng chuckled, "You can say it anyway. Then let me tell you, Chen Feng is kitchen waste or kitchen garbage." Cough cough. Sushin Yu couldn't help but cover her mouth and burst out laughing. Chapter 56 What's Your Business? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the recording of the MasterChef contest competition officially began. All departments were ready and the audience entered one after another. Chinese cuisine is extensive and profound, and the culinary skills are unmatched. Hello, everyone in the audience and in front of the TV, welcome to watch the exclusive broadcast sponsored by Tenenglu. Not all milk is called Tenenglu. I am the host Xiao Hong. Next, I would like to introduce to you the powerful judging panel for this competition. They are Mr. Jiang Yue, the gourmet cooking master. Welcome. Internationally renowned gourmet Ms. Zhang Yuyan, welcome. Veteran food blogger Ms. Hulan, welcome. In addition, I would like to introduce the special guest of this competition, Ms. Zhang Lindai. Welcome. Finally, let us welcome the 6 contestants of this competition with the warmest applause. There was thunderous applause and cheers at the scene. As the VCR was playing on the big screen, Chen Feng and 5 other contestants came onto the stage. His appearance immediately drew laughter from the audience. Who is this kid at the end? He looks like a child. Can he cook? I guess you can't even hold a kitchen knife. How could the production team allow such a person to participate in the competition? It's ridiculous that he has nothing but handsomeness. Naturally, Chen Feng also heard the discussions of the audience below. He was smiling and calm. Being too handsome can easily lead to controversy, and he has long been accustomed to this. Sushin Yao and Sushin Yu sat in the middle of the second row of the audience. Their 2 pairs of eyes as clear as deers were staring at the stage nervously, and they would come together from time to time to have a few low discussions. He looked at the pair of sisters lovingly. Chen Feng shifted his gaze to the judges' seats. Wow, that's incredible. 4 judges and 2 family members. One is his mother-in-law, the other is his aunt. These 2 women are just about to pamper him and keep him in their mouths. Chen Feng also knew Jiang Yue. He had invited Chen Feng to participate in the God of Cooking competition more than once and he thought highly of Chen Feng. The last one was Hulan, a food blogger who looked to be no more than 20 years old. Chen Feng was not familiar with her. But she looked at him like a complete fangirl, and Chen Feng felt pretty sure. The final of MasterChef competition is divided into 3 rounds. The top 2 chefs in each round will participate in the final competition for MasterChef. During the competition, each contestant has 3 hours to cook. During the cooking process, the camera follows the contestants into the kitchen and captures them closely, bringing the audience a rich visual and taste feast. In the kitchen, Chen Feng saw the other 5 people start to get busy as soon as they came in. He smiled, found a chair to sit down, took out his mobile phone and started playing games. Jiang Zheng was cutting vegetables. He cut the potato shreds into pieces as thin as hair. Seeing Chen Feng playing games, he laughed at Su Dong and said, "Look at that kid, he doesn't even look like a gamer. You spent money to come here to have fun." Fang Sudong didn't take Chen Feng seriously at all. He didn't even look at him and concentrated on making his delicious food. Liu Niu chopped the meat filling with a loud noise. He glanced at Chen Feng and reminded him, "Young man, the game only lasts 3 hours. Why don't you seize the time? What kind of game are you playing?" "Playing chicken." Chen Feng replied with a harmless smile. Liu Niu was speechless for a moment. Jiang Jing couldn't help but burst out laughing. "Chef Liu, you don't need to waste your breath on this kid, just let him continue playing games and wait to lose the game." Wang Hu has started frying the food and the aroma fills the entire kitchen. His movements were skillful and his eyes were determined, and he seemed to be full of confidence in the outcome of the game. Seeing Chen Feng having a lot of fun playing the game, he sneered, "This kid probably doesn't even know how to flip a spoon, how can he be qualified to participate in the competition with us?" Fang Sudong flattered him, "Master Wang is a superb culinary artist, and he is well known in Rongchen. This kid doesn't even have 1/10,000th of your ability. HMPH. Wang Hu snorted coldly, his face showing disdain, but he was very pleased in his heart. Half the time passed quickly. Chen Feng continued to sit in his seat and play games. After a game ended, he raised his head and looked at the chefs who were busy working. Some are cooking, some are carving, and the kitchen is filled with the mixed aroma of various foods. "Kid, what are you looking at? Are you hungry?" Fang Sudong looked at Chen Feng, who was motionless, and laughed. Are you just sitting here waiting to lose? You know you don't have the ability, so you took the initiative to give up the competition. You are a sensible guy. He tongue-glanced at Chen Feng. Fang Sudong swung the kitchen knife in his hand and guessed, when you go on stage and can't deliver the food, are you trying to bring shame to the show, or are you trying to make the headlines? What won't young people today do to become famous? Liu Niu said disdainfully, yesterday I saw in the news that a painting became popular overseas. The name of the work was Sitting Love, and it was painted by a painter from Chengdu. It's really shameful. Fang Sudong was very surprised. Make love? Lao Niu, did you hear it right? It's normal that it's popular since it's open to foreigners. Jiang Zheng was not surprised. I heard that it has been sold for 500 million yuan, Liu Niu added. So awesome. Fang Sudong sighed with envy, walked to the side of Chen Feng, and looked down at the game he was playing. Boy, did you hear that? Others can sell a painting for hundreds of millions, but we chefs can only make tens of thousands of yuan a month after working so hard. If you don't work harder, you can only serve dishes in the future. Tilder. Listening to everyone's conversation, Chen Feng searched the internet and found that the painting, Sitting and Loving, he and Su Xinyan created together made a sensation at a foreign painting exhibition. Countless wealthy people auctioned it, and the highest price had been 500 million. Putting down his phone, he stood up and looked at Fang Sudong, who was looking at him with contempt. Li Jing, the emperor of southern Tang, loved reading and valued poets. Feng Yanxi was promoted because of his poetry. He was domineering in government affairs and humiliated court officials at will. Fang Sudong didn't understand. He didn't understand why Chen Feng suddenly started telling him a story. Chen Feng chuckled and continued speaking. One day Li Jing called him to his presence and said a poem to him. What poem? The wind suddenly rises, rippling the spring water. Fang Sudong was even more confused after hearing this. What do you mean by that? Chen Feng smiled faintly without saying anything, washed his hands and began to prepare the dishes for the competition. Fang Sudong asked Liu Niu in confusion, Old Niu, do you know what that kid meant? Liu Niu glanced at Chen Feng and laughed, Har har har, there is another line in this poem, what does it have to do with you? It means that you are meddling in other people's business too much. Damn it. Fang Sudong clenched his fists immediately. Chapter 57 Mother-in-law tastes food. Don't be impulsive. You are already in your 30s. Don't bother with a child. Liu Niu held Fang Sudong's hand and advised. Snort. Fang Sudong's face turned pale. He looked coldly at Chen Feng, who was cutting vegetables, and snorted with disdain from his nostrils. 3 hours later. Under the introduction of their host, the contestants took turns to go on stage with their carefully prepared dishes. After tasting the dishes, the 4 judges gave comments and assigned scores. First of all, we welcome Chef Liu Niu. The dish he made is called Mandarin Duck Jade Mound. The green vegetable mound is decorated with delicious shrimps. The shape is exquisite and elegant, which is pleasing to the eye. There was warm applause from the audience. Chef Wang, who brought us a dish called Buddha, jumps over the wall this time. The ingredients in this dish are very precious, and every bite is full of essence. The applause from the audience became even louder. The third chef to appear is Fang Sudong. His dish is squirrel fish. Chen Feng was the last one to appear. Finally, let's see what delicious food Chef Chen Feng has brought us. The camera was aimed at Chen Feng, and the dishes he served were displayed on the big screen. There were a few cabbage leaves floating in a small porcelain bowl, and the soup was watery. There are neither precious ingredients nor any design or carving of the food. The color, aroma and taste are not presented in this dish. 3 full hours. I just made a dish that ordinary people can easily cook and submitted it for the competition. The audience laughed and talked a lot. Isn't he this boiled cabbage? Who can't cook this dish? Are all of you here great chefs? Don't underestimate this dish of boiled cabbage. It actually has a lot of hidden secrets. Forget it, I can't make it up anymore. This kid is simply bringing shame to our Rongkengtai. Get out of here, trash. I told him he couldn't do it. The abuse and ridicule from the audience became increasingly louder, and the recording was forced to be stopped. It took the director team and staff nearly half an hour to calm the audience down. The host Xiao Hong also looked embarrassed. She has hosted many food competitions, but this is the first time she has seen a contestant prepare such a perfunctory dish to participate in the competition. But the program still had to continue recording, so she could only say it anyway. The dish that Chef Chen brought us is called boiled cabbage. It is made with cabbage hearts and broth. It is not greasy and is refreshing. Xiao Hong finished reading this script awkwardly. I have been a host for more than 10 years and have given a lot of compliments. But today's praise is so fucking insincere. Next, please invite our 4 judges to taste this dish and give their comments. The big screen switched to the judges' seats. Although the dishes prepared by the previous 5 contestants were beautiful in appearance, Zhang Yuyan felt that the taste was unsatisfactory. After waiting for a long time for the dishes cooked by Chen Feng, she couldn't wait to pick up the chopsticks. Take a bite. Zhang Yuyan's eyes suddenly lit up. Delicious, it's really delicious. Although it is just an ordinary boiled cabbage, this delicacy is unique in the world. She would not trade it for any other delicacies. The cabbage is very tender, and the broth is fresh and rich. It's delicious. This is definitely the best boiled cabbage I've ever eaten. Zhang Yuyan's generous praise made the originally calm audience excited again. It's delicious. Are you kidding me? It looks like the judges must have received a lot of money. I've watched her show before, and I've never seen her praise any chef's food. Today, I really saw something strange. There's an inside story, but it's boring. Jiang Yuwei has been thinking about the fried rice made by Chen Feng ever since he had it. He picked up the chopsticks and tasted it carefully. Similarly, he showed the same surprised expression as Zhang Yuyan. Wonderful. It may seem like a bland soup, but it actually contains a lot of secrets. It combines the deliciousness of chicken, duck, spare ribs and other ingredients. The clear soup poured on top at the end is the icing on the cake. The soup is rich and has an endless aftertaste. The audience was stunned. How come even Master Jiang Yuwei was bribed? Don't you feel guilty for speaking against your conscience? I'm curious about the taste of boiled cabbage. These judges are just hired help. Isn't that what all shows are like now? Chen Feng looked at Hulan with a smile. Hulan was immediately fascinated by Chen Feng's handsome smile. Especially after hearing the other 2 judges give high praise to this boiled cabbage, she became even more curious about its taste. She picked up the chopsticks and took a bite. Tasty. So delicious. It's simply the most delicious food in the world. A simple dish of boiled cabbage can unexpectedly pack such a rich flavor. Everything flying in the sky, crawling on the ground, swimming in the water, all kinds of delicacies from mountains and seas, vegetables, fruits, all the wonderful tastes are blended in. It looks fresh and elegant, but it actually has a rich fragrance. The cabbage heart melts in your mouth, so refreshing that you can't help but want to have 2 bowls of rice with it. After tasting it, Hulan gave a thumbs up and praised, "It's delicious, so delicious." 3 people make a tiger. Now, most of the audience present have shown great interest in this boiled cabbage. 3 judges in a row praised its taste, which didn't seem like a performance. Chengdu is an official local TV station. If the judges invited to host the cooking competition are all hired as replacements, it will surely cause a lot of dissatisfaction. Therefore, this speculation is definitely untenable. The camera on the big screen turned to Zhang Lindai again. Although she is not a chef or a gourmet, she appears on the show with absolute authority as the richest person in Chengdu. Seeing her pick up the chopsticks and start tasting, the audience was full of anticipation, curious about what kind of evaluation she would give. Seeing that his mother-in-law was eating slowly, Chen Feng smiled and suggested, "Let the cabbage heart be wrapped in the soup so that it can absorb the deliciousness of the soup more fully." Zhang Lindai did as she was told immediately. As she ate, tears began to well up in her eyes. The camera immediately captured this detail. Crying. Is this what it means to be so delicious that it makes you cry? When did food shows start to appeal to emotions? You make me hungry. Seeing Zhang Lindai's emotion, Xiao Hong asked curiously, "Ms. Zhang Lindai, after tasting this boiled cabbage, what would you say about our contestants?" Zhang Lindai wiped her mouth gracefully and looked at Chen Feng on the stage. "Love, I tasted a flavor in this dish that other contestants couldn't make, and that's love. Being able to put your own feelings into a dish is the highest realm of cooking. This contestant did it perfectly.